Hello, everybody. How's it going? Sorry I missed you guys earlier, but we're going to do that tomorrow. But I decided to go ahead and come on here now because, I don't know, I have some time and I figured I'd hang out for a little bit. And I was just thinking of some things. My daily thoughts. Hey, Jessica, Deborah, Bugs, Cher. How's everybody doing? Jessica Johnson's the wiener today. We haven't had a wiener for a while. We haven't been talking about the wieners. So let's wait till some people come in here. We'll just chat for now. I got my Diet Coke. I have, this one's almost gone, so we got, we're good. So, anyways, my daughter has a friend over. We just asked them to keep it down, so hopefully they do. But if they get kind of crazy. Hey, Shizu, country girl, hair curlers and crime, half fool, Lisa, Nikita Banana. Why did I say that? Nikita Banana. Chiquita Banana. Chiquita Banana. Little banana girl. That's what that means. So Chiquita Nikita is little Nikita girl. Ha! Chiquita Nikita. That's what I'm going to start calling you. Little Nikita girl. Hey, Robin. So I thought we would just have an open discussion about this polygraph and anything else you guys wanted to talk about. I really, I've been sitting here racking my mind and thinking why would anybody in the community truly I was trying to look at it from other people's perspectives, from a legit perspective, why somebody would be. I mean, I understand some people laughing about it or whatever and think it's not going to do any good, whatever. But why is there some people who just seem to have such a problem with it, with doing a lie detector? I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to be doing, is trying to find truth? I just don't get it. I don't understand. And even some of you guys, they're like, oh, I would not let a YouTuber do it. Just leave it to the TBI. Well, we've been leaving it to the TBI for 4 years, and nothing's happening. Besides, too, it's more than just. I mean, you guys. For somebody who's innocent, they would obviously really want to do this. If you think about how much shit Fred's been through, if he's going to jump at the opportunity, any opportunity given to clear his name, and I just don't really see what the problem is. I really, really don't. And I feel like what I find interesting from what I'm hearing, I don't watch the stuff, but I heard there was a live earlier and stuff about people talking shit about, calling it grifting and stuff like that. And this is coming from the Wells camp side of things. And it's your daughter's missing, and we're wanting to give a lie detector to who you guys call suspects. So wouldn't she, and one of the main ones, Don Wells has been wanting to say, put it on Fred for quite some time. Why wouldn't he want a lie detector? Why is it something bad? Why does it seem like to be something that these people are wanting to make fun of or turn into gaslight people and turn it around into something bad? Like, I think that's really that's really actually messed up. That's actually fucked up. To try to gaslight people and tell people getting the truth. It's basically like telling people getting to the truth is a bad thing, because they're trying to turn it around like, and make it seem like, Cher's just making all kinds of money off this, or we're just back here making tons of money off this, or whatever. And I don't think that, I don't know where people think, how people think that. Like, we'll be lucky, seriously, she'll be lucky to break even. She'll be lucky to break even. I'm serious. It's going to be pretty expensive, especially for both Fred and Andy. So, Cher was thinking about getting us a hotel room and stuff if it's too far away, but I don't feel like we need that stuff. We'll see, but I don't think that, unless it's super far away, I think it's going to be, we won't even need that. So I think people need to calm down. I think it's crazy that people wouldn't want suspects that, a lie detector. Why don't they set up a lie detector with somebody? I mean, really, the only people who should be worried, I guess, is like us or the people taking the lie detector. Like, I guess that somebody could like pay them off or something, or set us up. And I guess but I don't see why Don Wells would worry. I don't know. That's the whole point of doing this transparently and out there, so people can look into stuff and everything be out there completely transparent. So, and then you got ones who, like Prayer Garden, who thinks it's funny to start rumors that, Fred's backing out of the polygraph because one of the questions, like, that is not even, like, these people are just making up stuff because they're so afraid of the truth getting out. I think this should show people a lot. Oh, I did see your emails, Shannon. I didn't know exactly what you meant by that, but I didn't know that Andy said something about a boa constrictor. Well, as far as I know, I don't know what Dawn said about it, unless you guys have watched that other channel earlier. I don't know but I'm guessing with the channel that came out earlier talking shit about Cher and Benny calling it grifting or whatever. I think it is, and it's Don Wells' #1 supporter saying it. So my guess is he's going to go along with anything Don Wells says. So sounds like to me Don Wells has a problem with Fred getting a lie detector test. Sorry, I was just reading a message. Hey, Chloe. Yeah, I say suspect, even though I don't consider I don't look at Fred like a suspect. I definitely haven't for a very long time. Um, and I truly believe police have never really looked at him as a suspect. I mean, they have to look into everybody, of course, but uh, there's a lot of people on here who, I mean, there's people on here who would put that out there, and Don Wells was one of the main people at the beginning trying to throw Fred under the bus, and I would think he would want something like that. I don't understand why people are turning it into a bad thing. Oh, like Cher's just going to make so much fucking money off of it. You guys don't understand. She's probably going to be in the negative. I think once it happens and stuff, people will maybe might donate to her to compensate her, but she'll probably have to. My guess, she's not going to bring in $1,000 or how much of it ever it's going to cost for just us to get his done. Or I don't know. Some people are saying, "Give me questions." I don't care. I would, but I think the main thing we need to focus on is Summer Wells. I would, but it's just that takes money, obviously. So people don't understand. I just don't see her bringing in crazy amounts of money like that over and beyond especially beforehand, because there's going to be a lot of people who don't believe it until they see it, right? I don't know if you guys have a few thousand really sitting around or whatever to try to give to people polygraphs or whatever. Jason went on saying, I tried to kill her because I said she should leave Andy alone. What? Hey, Katie. Oh, Rolos. Haven't seen those for a long time. So, Cinder, we're talking about Summer Wells' case. We have, I mean, like in the title, it says Don Wells, and I think it mentions Summer Wells, does it not? I'm trying to look to see. But, yeah, we're talking about Summer Wells. I don't understand. And I think it's funny, too, because Jody Sue, of course, we'll just leave it to the TBI forever, guys, right? We'll just leave it to TBI and let people completely just keep throwing, what is that? Oh, Pez? Oh, cute. That's cute. Yeah, you guys let it be your life, and you are accused of something so horrible about a child for years and years. You let it be you, and you just deal with it. Oh, just leave it to TBI. It'll be okay. If you're truly innocent, you want a lie detector. You want to clear your name. And that's why these people don't want Fred to take one. That's exactly why. Because they know he's going to fucking pass with flying colors. And they're so worried that their whole freaking plan this whole time for years, including Fred's sister, is to make Fred look guilty. Fred's sister and Dawn have been, and a certain other one, have been working together to make Fred look a certain way. So, of course, they do not. They're so afraid of the truth coming out because it will blow their whole cover that they've used for years to try to make certain ones the scapegoats. Santa Claus Pez. Oh. So I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand. And don't be afraid for you guys to speak up and tell me why you're thinking that way if you are. Because the people I'm seeing saying that kind of stuff are all people Don Wells, or the other side, I guess you should say, which it shouldn't be sides, but the only people I see saying things like that are the ones who have everybody against the lie detector test are the ones that have called me and Fred liars for years. You notice that? Every single one who's against it is against me and Fred. So it's because they know we're being honest. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science. They don't want the truth out there. Nobody's backing out. Definitely not over here. And let's say for some reason that they do scare Sheriff from being involved with it. We'll have it done either way, so some other way. Yeah, but Cinder Element, that's not why they're worried though, in my opinion. They're not worried about him getting a false positive. They're worried about him passing. That's what they're worried about. Yeah, it could come off or there's such things as false positives, and yes, it's scary, and it's scary to think, oh, yes, but you can't. The likelihood of that, I just don't. I mean, I don't. I'm not worried about that. I'm not really. This. I know, exactly, Missy, and that's the thing. And they'll still have it. They'll come up with a different way. That's why they wanted to why they're trying to move away from Summer Wells, because I think many of them are like, oh, okay, well, we can't pin Summer Wells on him, so let's pin Cotton Simpson on him. The man who brought Cotton Simpson's name to the freaking community and told us about him. Yeah, we're going to pin his death on Fred. Fred's the one that told us about Cotton Simpson. So that's Missy's exactly right in what she's saying. They're afraid of losing credibility. Even though, lie detectors aren't admissible. Yeah, we get that. But it's exactly what Benny said. It's just a tool. It's a tool, and it helps. It shows something. Yeah, I'm Sam McGrim. What happens if he fails even though he's innocent? I don't think like that, Cinder. I just don't. And I just don't. I don't see it happening. I really don't. But I think most of them talking about Fred because he is your husband. Yeah. That's true. That's what I was telling somebody. What the saddest part about it is that they go hard at Fred only because of me. A lot of them, Benny was on Shares the other day. I plead the fifth. He's back. So, Judy Sue doesn't want everyone to talk about Summer Wells that tries to find her and solve the case. Her evil seems. Hey, Val. So, and that's why Cher's not going to tell us the questions and stuff, but there's one question I asked her to please ask, and because because I could just see these people, once we getting the results back for Summer, then trying to be, or even if we ask about Cotton, then, them putting something else on him. So I asked her for one question, and that was ask him if he's ever unalived anybody in his life. So that will cover everybody. And that way, we can just handle that right there. And then we'll ask, and then you guys, whatever she's got for him after that. But I really wanted to ask that question because people, I've noticed what they're trying to do. They can't pin Summer on him, so they're trying to ruin his credibility any way they can because of him being, in my opinion, the main witness in this case, seeing Andy Bernard on the road. I feel like when he says he wasn't, I think that's big. And but for from what I've seen in Cinder Element, most people are not concerned about that. The most people who are worried are from the side that constantly is like talking shit about Fred and me when we're just over here doing our thing, minding our business, and it's them, those type of people that seem to have the most problem with it. I get people worrying about that, and yeah, it's a worry, but it's a chance. I'm not honestly really that worried about it. Obviously, Fred isn't, so. Chance, that show I sent you about Hugh Allen and how law enforcement can be in Tennessee. Actually, it's truth, deception, or it's not no opinion. It's truth, deception, or inconclusive. The no opinion is when they didn't. The reason why no opinion showed up on that one that came out to YouTube, the Cotton Simpson one, that Fred's sister intercepted in his mail, like stole from his mail and put out on YouTube, which was just a sample test. No opinion was no opinion because the woman that was giving the test was not grading it. She did not have an opinion on the test. It would have been inconclusive if it was inconclusive. However, we didn't know that at the freaking time, and now we're trying to get those results. Don B's been trying to get those test results, and giving them issues. So the only thing, I don't know. Like, if they even know it was about Cotton Simpson, if it has anything to do with, well, if either of the cases are Cotton Simpson, if they did reopen it, they might not give it out. I don't know what the reason is that they're giving him such a hard time about it, but that's another reason why we want to do this, or I think it's a good idea. Yeah, most of them aren't looking out for us like that in that way, but and also like somebody paying off the polygrapher, that is something that, but I have to trust that on Andy's end too, you know what I mean? He could probably, try to figure out where he's being sent and try to pay these people off or whatever. That's a worry. But that's why we're trying to do this, so that the most transparent, open way possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that, hair curlers. Like, when I've contemplated taking out my own video about the lie detector when it first came out, because it's my own information on it was false information. Because I didn't know why it said no opinion. I figured it was inconclusive. And, like, Fred couldn't talk to me on the phone about they kept freaking making it so we couldn't communicate. So I didn't know until after he was at the after he was in the halfway house, and we'd actually been able to actually talk, and we figured out, like, okay, that wasn't even the actual test. That was only a sampling. And it's on the YouTube. You could find it and look at it yourself. It's really easy. And even the woman told him that it gets sent off to, that it was going to be, the test was going to be sent off to Nashville. And a group of people, like, it's not just one person that reviews the test. It's a group of people who determine the results of the test, I guess, is what she was telling him. So she told him it would be marked no opinion. But see, we didn't expect his sister to get the mail and intercept everything and, like, try to turn it around into something completely different. And so that's why they're mad, because this whole plan this whole time has been to use Fred as a scapegoat. And now they're mad because it's just going to give him more credibility, And now at the other end of it, it's like puts Andy in a spot. Is he going to freaking do it or is he not? Either way, if he does or if he doesn't, it's happening over on this end. And either way, for that side, they're shitting their pants either way, I feel like, because they so bad want to make us look like something we're not. And when you guys need to come up with something else to use or do, not a child's case to cause a drama. And, these people, many of them need to seriously just convert over completely to the drama community, for real. Like, seriously, if you don't want truth in a case, that's the closest we can get. We can't get law enforcement to tell us answers. And, oh, yeah, it's all nice and good for you guys over there that doesn't have it affect your life 24/7 as it does us, like with these crazies stalking us. So, what, you think we should just deal with this the rest of our life or just wait for TBI to handle it? Come on. And you guys know many people on here want the answers too, or want to see it too.
I mean, like a polygraph, it don't stand in court, but what they do, if there any deception on a certain question, then they start interrogating you on certain questions to break it down.
So then they do grade it. So they can tell as you're going if there's deception then?
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about in an investigation. If it does, when they do the final reading, and if it shows any kind of deception, then that's the questions and stuff they're going to start interrogating you about.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, but you've never been, heard anything since the test,
But,
so.
I mean, that's how why they do the polygraphs, is because
it's a tool.
Then they know that there's something there that they need to take care of.
Right. It's a tool, exactly. Yeah. It's a tool to see for many different ways. Hey, Juniper. Fred would have never been allowed to leave the state if he was a suspect or person of interest. LA made Don. Yep, that's true. He did. I do remember that. And there is also something weird about when Fred went to jail and then the certain people that started coming out, especially after Cotton Simpson's name came up. That's when Ryan came out. That's when Fred's sister came out. That's when Dawn suddenly, when Fred went to jail, there was something Dawn did. Either came back to Tennessee or... Now, I do know there was a time that he left Tennessee and was told to come back by his probation, for sure. Oh, yeah. Stray Sue is the type of person that would carry Summer to Fred's driveway to throw off scent like her feet washing. She thinks stuff like that is normal.
Well,
but
the cameras would have showed it if she had.
Yeah, that's true. Cameras would have showed that if she had.
Cameras would have showed that.
So that whole scent thing, like, well, just think of it too. Like, speaking of scent, and like,
they just thought the scent was coming from Dawn and Candace where they had been there.
yeah. Well, just like a lot of the rumors and stuff have come from that side, and like the clothes in the washing machine, that was all your sister making up that one. All that hair and bones found over at 207 that she lied and tried to tell his psychic. That was a whole lie. It all came from Fred's sister. And Dawn, we're learning, of course, these people did not want me and Cher talking because we're comparing a lot of notes, and it's crazy, the things that we're figuring out together, because we have not been in communication. We did not watch each other because we weren't going to sit there and watch shit talking about ourselves. So, and she wasn't going to watch our shit either, or for the same reason. So there's a lot of things that we're comparing notes and being like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Especially, there's some calls going to come out. You guys are going to find tomorrow. We're supposed to go over a call with Cher and Dawn, and that's never been heard before. And I did hear it, and I found it interesting. And it has to do with why I'm speaking on this, or about this, like, about Fred's sister and stuff. Like, this call was from a couple years ago, and it shows that Dawn seemed very interested in what was going on over at 207, and Fred's sister and stuff selling everything, and he was very involved with all that shit. In ways. We'll talk about it later, but a lot of stuff's coming out, and that's what they don't want happening. They purposely did this, a whole group of them, Don Wells, Fred's sister and company, Andy Bernard, Joey Sue, a whole bunch of them worked in a group to make certain ones the scapegoat and make certain things look a certain way. Why? You've got to ask that's why are they doing that? Well, some of them are guilty, some of them are being paid, some of them, I don't know, are out of their minds and using drugs, and I don't know. Both you and Cher have great contact with Dawn, speaking directly with you. Well, I see a lot of people being like, oh, leave it to TBI. It's like, we have left it to TBI. They've never gave Fred a lie detector test on Summer Wells or Andy, from what I know. And I know Benny was a little bit confused about Fred's lie detector thing. Because he kept saying, like, the first one, we don't know the results of the first one, really. That's what we're trying to get. But the first one wasn't in Summer Wells. It was to confirm the information he was turning in. I mean, yes, it was him turning information in on Summer Wells, but also it came up information about, like, Cotton's death, in a way, because of how everything happened. Oh, they definitely consider Andy a suspect, in my very strong opinion. I don't think that they've ever came out and made it seem as if Andy's not a suspect. The only thing that people have heard or seen in that is his private call with Pruitt, where I feel like Pruitt was just trying to, make him comfortable. Or also, maybe he didn't. But, thank you, RR. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. My wrenches all got taken away when my account got hacked. So I've had to individually mod everybody. Why did Cotton's death reopen Summer's case? I don't know what you mean. Summer's case has been open. Hey, Crystal. There was a lot of people, Brooke, that were very sick and suspicious. But there is no results. We don't even know the results, Cinder, of the first one, unfortunately. They won't release them. Don B's been trying to, we haven't got the results. We haven't even seen the results. What was given was a sample of, it was just a sample of what the type of questions he was being asked, and just basically a receipt of him doing the test. Reopen? I don't know what you mean, Karen, about reopening. Summer's case has never been closed. So I don't see him, he wouldn't say that. So that has to be a misunderstanding or something, or he misspoke, because he wouldn't say that. He's always known Summer's case to be open. That's silly. Unless it means, unless you mean to reopen Cotton's, they were thinking about, there was rumors about reopening Cotton's death, because Cotton's death was allegedly ruled an accident, and then there was rumors, like, after that, supposedly that was reopened, but that was just rumors. We don't know.
No, every 2 years they close it, reopen.
Oh, every 2 years they close and reopen. Oh, it's just, okay.
That's what I was talking about. That's how a lot of other stuff comes up, the indictments and stuff.
Wait, what could you email me? You're going to email, is it the sampling one, Cinder Element, that says no opinion? Is that one you're talking about? The one that says no opinion? That's not the results. That's before it was even graded. And that's the sampling that I'm talking about, that Fred's sister had illegally went through his mail and snuck to get his mail while he was in jail when she was not supposed to, and then put that out on YouTube. When she was never asked to get that.
No, not out of the mail, but I did tell them to go ahead and they could put it out on YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you told your sister that?
I told somebody that. I can't remember who. I think it was my other sister.
Oh, you might have told me too, just to put it on YouTube, because you probably didn't. I mean, but the thing is, we found out later it wasn't even the result. It's
just a pre-written. Yeah, she told me that day that I would have to contact Nashville office.
How would you have Fred's results, Cinder Element, and we don't have it? Yes, please do send it if you have such a thing, because Don B's been trying, like, that's something that has to be paid for through TBI, and Don B's been trying like heck for like the last couple months. Did Cotton wreck a four-wheeler that day, or was he walking? What day?
The day he was at my house, he was in a vehicle, in a Chevy Equinox. I don't know if Cotton even owned a four-wheeler or not. When he was at my place the day before.
Are you talking about, her first interview? Wasn't that like her only interview? Yeah, if you have something different, Cinder, please send that to me. Like, ASAP. And like, I'm over here, I'm waiting impatiently. I'm really, I don't know where you would get something like that, because we've been trying, like, well, we haven't, but Don B has. Yeah, here's my email. YouTubeSiggy@outlook.com. Yeah, it had no relevance.
I mean, I may have to file for it because some of the documents has got too much personal information on it, like social security numbers and stuff. Reason they won't let some people get it.
Well, they could redact them, but I guess they're probably just. I know Don B was like wanting. He was so irritated and just over it. He's like, I feel like quitting. He seriously was. He was very.
I mean, I know some paperwork that I was trying to get through Hawkins County. That's why they wouldn't let certain people pick it up, because he had sensitive information on it for his number.
Yeah, even though we told them to please release it.
I know, but they still wouldn't. I had to pick them up personally myself.
You can email me Tuesday when I get to my office. How? What? How did you get this polygraph? But yeah, please.
Yeah, I just learned today that George Bernard's middle name was Wesley. George Wesley Bernard.
No, that's the great grandfather.
Huh?
No, that's the great grandfather. Andy's dad's name is also George Andrew Bernard. So, but Andrew's okay. Andy's dad's name, or Andy's dad, George. His dad is George Wesley Bernard.
Okay. So that's
Andy's grandfather is George, and I think there are folks who are terrified of having the list of suspects narrowed down. Oh yeah, I know that there's people terrified, but they should be terrified anyways, because they're going down either way. So they think that this is gonna. I think they're afraid because I don't know. I guess they're just hoping that TBI is not doing anything in law enforcement, and that, I mean, there is instances all the time of public helping solve cases. So I guess that's what they're afraid of. I think that they're basically just living on borrowed time. It's just a matter of time before everything comes out, and I don't feel like it will. They want to be mad at people like YouTubers and these people getting lie detector tests, and they want to be mad. I don't even know what I'm saying. Sorry. It's because they don't want the truth out. That's just all there is to it. Oh, I know. I was in the chat when he was on panel and stuff. So I don't understand. But yeah, Cinder, if you have some kind of access or a way, it is a supposedly a public document. So that we were told only would cost $40. But Don B has been trying for 2 months. See, I've never personally ever FOIA'd a document. I'm sure it's not that difficult, but I don't know how to do that. I just never had. I think some people just email them, I think, and just ask for certain things, and then they'll send back a price. I think that's how some do it. But I haven't tried the last couple months because Don B has been, and he's got documents like that before, so I figured he knew what he's doing. And he's a Tennessee resident right now, so, But if any of you guys can get it and are able to FOIA it, yeah, please. I would, and that's what they don't want those results out. When I say they, supposedly hair curlers, but Don B has been trying, and they won't freaking. That's what they told Fred when he had his lie detector test. They told him to get the results, he'd have to pay $40 to Nashville TBI. That was being sent to Nashville. That's what we were told. Then there was that sample test that was sent to Fred's house just to basically document, yes, he took a lie detector and had sample questions on it, but it didn't have the results. It just said no opinion. And then that's what we learned, like once we were talking and figure out, okay, it got sent off to Nashville and it's a group of people who goes over it. Fred told him the day he took it, it'd be $40 to get the results. Well, Don B has been trying like crazy. So if anybody else can, Nashville TBI, try to, especially if you're a Tennessee resident. He hasn't had one yet. There's been nobody. Even if we did get the results of that one back, I still feel we still need to do this lie detector. He hasn't had a lie detector on Summer Wells. It's just his information he turned in on Cotton Simpson. So, and I know he doesn't need one. I know he doesn't. I know he's going to pass with flying colors. I'm not worried in the least bit. I know he doesn't need one, but it's people on here seem to think he does, and we're tired of being harassed. And plus, I'm tired of people using him as a scapegoat in order to hide and make themselves look better and sit here and buddy up with like YouTubers and stuff. Well, and taking in donations and shit. Well, they're prime suspects and they are right involved in whatever happened to Summerwell's disappearance, and even continuing to benefit to this day monetarily. And it makes me fucking sick, to be honest. Makes me fucking sick. So they can't, that way it will help, like somebody was just saying, narrow down the list, even though it's already narrowed down to many of us anyways. But they don't want like any type of absolute proof or anything that will, even though it wouldn't be absolute proof, I get that. But it would be better than nothing, and it would show a lot to and just like law enforcement uses it. Law enforcement uses the test even though they can't submit it to the courts. Why do you think law enforcement uses it if it's not admissible in court? what's the point, right? Well, the point is, it's a tool. It's a tool to see like where you need to be focused. You pay attention to several things: who's taking the test, who there's several things. It's not just about whether they pass or fail. And also, you can also that way also use the results to focus in, like Fred was saying, on certain areas and questions where it does look like there's some kind of reaction or something with the test, and then they can focus on those areas of questions. And yeah, it's not absolute. Hey, MC Melissa. Yeah, I have over the years. Thank you. And especially now, as being with Fred, and not my work is not any more important than anybody else's like on here. But the thing is, like, I do feel like I have a little bit more skin in the game now and worry because I have to deal with these freaking idiots on here's freaking harassment. And even when we're over here minding our business, we don't mention them, we don't do anything. They go out of their way to get our attention. It is really pathetic. I can try to email them and see. I'll email them. I'll find the clerks or I'll email from Fred's email and have Fred email him. We'll try and just see. But I also have, we want the results out there, but at the same time, like, I haven't been in a huge hurry because I know how they do give you the runaround. Anything related in any way to Summerall's case, they're going to give you a runaround. Anything to do with, like, even YouTube. And your comment, Sharon, was one of the reasons I wanted to come on here and ask you, like, why do you think that's a... So your comment actually on my other live is yours and somebody else's was part of the reason why I'm live now, because I saw your comment about go through a TBI, but I truly wanted to, like, people's thought processes on that. Like, why do you not think it's a good idea? I mean, TBI, we've been waiting for TBI to do something for 4 years. Like, they haven't polygraphed any of these people. Fred's polygraph was for Cotton Simpson, and we still are trying to get the results of that one out, and plus, it doesn't have the questions on it that we need to ask anyways. Yeah, anything that it could possibly have a slight chance of not being accurate can't be admissible in court, Like, for instance, if there was like any type of chance that something was not somebody's DNA, like even, let's say DNA worked like a polygraph. Even it wouldn't be admissible in court if it worked like that. Like, it's 90% possibility, possibility this DNA is this person's. Well, Dawn and Candace because we know Dawn and Candace already are involved, basically, and they're the only ones that have had a lie detector that we know of. And for one, too, I mean, we want it to obviously, a lot of people are using Fred as a scapegoat, and that's another thing, too. A lot of these people who are actually guilty are using Fred as their scapegoat, and I'm tired of it. And a lot of you guys should be, too, because it's not just about Fred at all. It's actually not at all about Fred. It's about Summer Wells and the fact that people are using other ways to take the guilt off themselves or take the attention off themselves and putting it on people like Fred, and working as a group, the whole group of weirdos of them, all the criminals together over there working together. Yeah, you can't just ask TBI to give a lie detector test either. That's the issue. I wish we could. It would be nice if we could call them up and be like, "Hey, could we arrange? Would you give a lie detector to Fred Hill?" And that would be amazing. Amazing if we could do that and contact TBI. That would be the best way to go. If that was a possibility, if we could contact TBI and be like, let's pay. Can we pay for a polygraph for Fred Hill and Andy Bernard? Would you guys? And you can use it in the Summer Wells case, which they won't be able to use it in court. But because even if you go get a polygraph from these people, they'll make you sign a waiver that they will testify in court if they're asked. So I guess they do have sometimes. I don't know how it works if they can't use lie detectors in court. I don't know why they make you sign a waiver that they will testify in court if asked. So I don't know why that, but they're going to do that anyways. So whether you go through TBI or your private organization, TBI contracts these organizations out anyways and uses them themselves. But TBI is not going to do that. We're not going to be able to have TBI arrange it for us and anything. It won't work. They won't do it. They're not going to move at our speed. Or even they just won't do it at all. Exactly. Why wouldn't they volunteer? Fred is begging, whether it's TBI give them one or who. And let the results be out. We want the results out, though. That's the only thing. I don't see the problem. I think it's hilarious that over here, all we've wanted is transparency and honesty and truth. Absolute truth. I put out all calls, full calls. I don't clip them. I don't play little parts. I don't clip text messages in certain spots. I put out the whole conversation. But these people, if you notice, always doing little clips. They can't put out the whole calls. Context is super important. You can tell who really wants truth and who doesn't. All the ones that want to say, this person's a liar, that person's a liar, talk shit 24/7 and drama, but yet don't ever have anything to back it except, usually just their worthless, trashy words that mean nothing. Usually it's all they have. But if they do have anything, it's always just clipped at a certain point. It's not completely, it's not the everything. Yeah, yeah, and then that's another worry too. That's why I was asking. I worry about, that's a big worry. I mean, but I can't worry about what Andy Bernard does, that he's going to be possibly taking a handful of Xanax, Candace did before her test. Yeah, I worry about that, and that's why I've said, like, a drug test should be required. I'm all about 100% transparency, and that's what bothers these people. Even because I think a drug test should be taken before the lie detector, because it's common knowledge, especially for criminals, like if you want to pass the lie detector, take a bunch of Xanax, because that lowers your anxiety, which then lowers like other things like your heart rate and breathing. So, and that's what they use. So, no, they won't, Katie. They won't, but like the ones that are dead set on really disliking me, no, they won't shut up. They will not. They'll find something else. That's why I wanted to, just to make sure, that's why I told Cher. She was like adamant on not putting out the questions or not telling, and I told her, I agreed, like, we don't need to know the questions in advance. It's a little about the place we're going to. We don't really need to know. But I wanted one question because I knew these people. If we just focused on Summer Wells, I knew that they would find something else to be like, well, they didn't ask if he had anything to do with any other deaths or murders. So I wanted to ask one of the questions, if he has ever unalived anybody in his life. I think she just means about them finding the Boswell girl is that they found that she means it like because I was also confused when they said that. I was like, what, they found her? What she means is that's how they got justice for her. Yeah, I think so too, Abadabi. So why are people like trying to make Cher and others, like, why are people giving Cher her time for? I think they're just jealous. I truly, truly do. So they want to turn it, or also, well, I'm jealous because they're afraid that Cher is going to get some kind of attention that they're not going to get, or some kind of money that they're not going to get, which she's not going to get any type of. I really don't see her making bank off it. Seriously, it's expensive. Plus, I don't want to be the one that arrange all that stuff. I don't want to have anything to do with the money side and all that. I want somebody else to handle that. And if she's going to do the work and all that, and pay for it, then anything that comes in is for her. That's just, and I don't understand why people have a problem with it. It's going to be, I don't see how, I worry that she's not going to be able to bring in enough to cover it. That's what I worry about. And then we won't be able to do it, but we'll get it done. Trust and believe it. There's not going to be no, something like that keeping us from money. We'll if we have to, we'll crowdfund, do what we have to do. Well, the other thing, though, no, I'm talking about the people who are giving Cher a really, really hard time about, like, she was grifting. You know what I mean? Like, and the ones that are doing it are the ones who have the ones that are talking shit about Fred and myself, and or Or the ones that are buddies with Dawn and Candace, like, wouldn't they want the truth? Why don't they want a lie detector? That's what I don't get. Okay, you don't want a YouTuber to do it or be the facilitator, the one that gets everything together? Well, then, how about you convince TBI to give Andy Bernard and Fred one and put the results out there? Or how about you convince them to tell us what they know if Andy was on the road? Because that question, I guarantee, is probably going to be asked Andy. No, you have to pay out of pocket, Christy. Supposedly, Dawn and Candace did take one, and some people want to say that they passed, but that is not at all how I understood it. I mean, I understood it that there was a rumor of them passing, but for sure, Candace had to go back. The first time, she was too upset to take it. No, she was too zanied out of her mind, was really the truth. She took too much Xanax before her test and couldn't stay awake. Couldn't function properly. Right. No, this one we have to do ourselves, Cinder. Yeah, and the results haven't been put out, so I don't know how anybody would know that either. Like, except besides people, like, I know people who have, I don't know. That'd be a question for sure. I would think Cher would know that for sure the best, because she did talk to Dawn a lot. And from my understanding, the way Cher's talked to me, they did not pass. Like, but she said they absolutely did not pass. And if really, we haven't seen any results, so I don't know how anybody, and I think if anybody got them or if they were leaked anywhere, they would have been put out. You know? That's why I don't understand how somebody would have Fred's lie detector and it not be put out yet, because that's definitely something people would want to see. Especially Dawn Candace, right? Jerry Sue slipped up and said you won't find Summer. Yeah, and Dawn Wells said something similar. Mm-hmm. That makes sense too. I didn't find Joe Clyde Daniels and the rest of the parents. Exactly, and so Christy, you could see why why Fred would want a lie detector test, right? And it's funny that the people who are trying to put it on Fred are those ones that don't want a lie detector. Well, if he's so freaking guilty, like you say, wouldn't you want a lie detector? Like, I'm dying to see a lie detector with Andy Bernard. Yeah. I want that. So why wouldn't you want one? If you think Fred's so guilty, why wouldn't you want one? And I understand people think it's not, that a lot of people don't want to believe in the science of them, but there's a reason law enforcement uses them and different agencies use them. And no, you can't put something and admit something in court that's not 100%, but it's pretty damn good at detecting whether you're telling the truth or not. Did he say on that they passed? Maybe they did. Now you're making me second guess about whether Ronnie did say something about them passing the test. You know, I don't know if Ronnie Lawson said it, but I do think there was a news person who said it, but I don't think we've ever heard it straight from Ronnie Lawson. Am I right or wrong about that? Oh, really? Did he say it himself out of his own mouth? Like we've heard it straight from Ronnie Lawson. Ask Fred where Nola Chucky is. Where's Nola Chucky? Where's Nola Chucky? Oh, that must be Kentucky and Nola Chucky.
Nola Chucky?
Yeah.
Ain't it next to Knoxville?
Oh, is it next to Knoxville?
I think so. I'm not for sure. I get it and another place mixed up sometimes. I get North Chucky and Douglas mixed up sometimes, so I'm not really sure.
Then with the Tucky at the end, it makes me think of Kentucky, like it's like right on the line or something. Because it says Nola Chucky. Nola.
I think the Nola Chucky River comes out of Boone, North Carolina.
Ronnie Lawson said that on the bright.
Nola Chucky River comes down through Elizabethton and all that through Jonesboro, backside Jonesboro.
Hey, Pintinton. Yeah, Angel on Earth. I do think that's possible for sure. And that was more even before the Lady of the Night call. That's always been something from the very beginning that many people thought of. And actually, law enforcement was focused, according to Fred, focused on Wells. Did they want to know? I don't think he's in there. Fred, did they Did they ask you about septic tanks? No. He's talking to my daughter right now. Andy said the snake was only about 3 foot long. No, somewhere with. Yeah, they're not gonna bully us to not take the freaking test. And I think it's pathetic, the people trying to make Cher feel like a piece of shit, like she's doing something bad or grifting. Like, how about, it just makes me so mad, seriously, because she's honestly gonna probably have to end up paying out of her own pocket at first. She might be able to recoup it after the results coming out, but there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to give up money up front because they're not going to believe that's going to happen. Because honestly, I really be surprised if Andy Bernard actually goes through with it, but I hope he does. Right, cinder element, and that's what I'm wondering is like, that's why I was saying they could be withholding those. That's why I was saying, how did you get Fred's lie detectors test then? And how did you know that the Wells the Wells pass is right. How'd you get Fred's? Because they're trying to act like with Don B. I don't know. But at the same time, they gave us freaking such shit, too. Like, just trying to get any documents or anything.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't really tried too much, because I just know that they're... Who's Cher from Voices Behind the Wall? She's the one that's getting everything arranged for the test. I mean, can you imagine? We're not going to go arrange a test ourselves. for ourselves, because I'd rather anybody set it up. I don't care who it is. I mean, of course, there's the worry of, I want somebody obviously legit. Why are people saying Fred wouldn't lie to answer baseline questions in his polygraph? Is that true? Why are people getting this stuff? Because that came from, I'm guessing, Pam, you're listening to PG. Like, you need to stop listening to that woman. Like, seriously, it's diseasing your mind. That's crazy that Fred wouldn't answer baseline questions. I think people need to be more wonder why these certain ones, including PG, are putting out these absolute, like, ridiculous stories. You know, when it comes to Summer's case, when she knows is absolutely ridiculous. Like, especially as stuff like that. Like, where would she get that stuff? Where would she get, oh, he won't answer baseline questions? It's on our own, Christy Dawn, because it's on our own. It's something that Cher from Voices Behind the Wall wanted to set up for Fred and Andy Bernard. And Fred was like, yes, for sure. But some people are like, oh, you should just leave it to TBI or have TBI. But TBI isn't doing it. Okay, have TBI do it. Tell TBI to lie detector Fred and Andy. We just want it to do it for our own, because we're tired of people using Fred as their scapegoats, as a way to hide their fucking bullshit. And so that's the reason why many of them don't want him to take one, because they've been using Fred as their, to throw under the bus this whole time. I always drink it out of a big gulp too, though. What's that? Who said this? Mm-hmm. Wow. So somebody's saying here that on the day that Summer Wells disappeared, the name of the person's marked out, but it's a screenshot one of you guys sent Fred. And it looks like a comment on Facebook. And they're talking about, somebody asked, I wonder if they were swimming at the Nolichucky. And somebody said that's a bit far. And then somebody else says, I'm thinking Laurel Run Park in Church Hill has waterfalls. Google it. Next person says, yes, it does. And Laurel Run Falls has those big shelves in the wall of the waterfall. And then next, somebody said, honestly, she asked, like she as in Candace. So honestly, Candace asked my daughter's boyfriend if she wanted to go with them to Nolicky and swim the day that she disappeared. So this woman here is claiming that in this comment that we were just sent, that her daughter was asked, or her daughter's boyfriend was asked by Candace if he wanted to go swimming with them to Nolichucky. On June 15th, really. We'll have to look into where Nolichucky is, I guess. Where should take the polygraph? But see, these things cost money too, Pam. Like, there's people even saying, like, I should take one. I would love to take one. I mean, I don't know what you guys would ask me, but I would. There's definitely a reason to give Andy Bernard a polygraph. He was on the road, so why was he on the road, Cinder?
No, Chucky's in Elizabeth.
That's in Elizabethton. That's the thing that doesn't. It's like, why were you on the road and why are you on YouTube saying you weren't? That's why he needs a lie detector. Everybody else that was out there that day, or had no problem to say they were on the road, but for some reason Andy Bernard is lying and saying he was at work the whole day, and he was not. He was on the road, so that's why he needs a lie detector. And I'm really tired of people trying to act like that's a lie and didn't happen. So that's why we need a lie detector. We can ask Fred the same question: did he see Andy on the road? And we could ask Andy, were you on the road between these times on Ben Hill Road?
See, I used to hunt up off.
And we can compare the results and see Andy's results, and we can see Fred's results on that question. Did Fred see Andy on the road on June 15th at the time he says? And, I'm guessing that's probably a question that he's going to be asked. I'm assuming. I don't know. And I'm assuming Andy's going to be asked a similar question if he was on the road. So see why we need a lie detector? I do think it's important. Very important. Would Laura take a polygraph? No, let Chucky Rivers White River.
Yeah, it comes through Boone, North Carolina and stuff. Because in 94, 95, I hunted a lot up there. Up in North Chucky, we'd float across, and then even though it wasn't raining or nothing in Tennessee, you had to really watch the water, because if it rained or anything in North Carolina, the water would come, just flood and stuff, and you couldn't get back across. You had to watch the weather and stuff across there.
Yeah, Jody Sue too should definitely take one. For sure. But she's not going to. She's already said, and she's already told, advised everybody not to take one. We should leave it to the TBI. Well, I would love the TBI, but of course, Jody Sue said she doesn't want the results out on YouTube. But of course, I don't know why she wouldn't want the results. Wouldn't you want to clear your name, Jody Sue? Like, that's weird. But as far as Laura taking one, I guess you'd have to ask her, do you think Laura would take one? Do you think Laura would take one?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why she wouldn't. She probably would if it was close enough for her to get to and stuff. But we, one step at a time, let's try to get these two main ones taken care of. Don and Candace are not going to. So
the neighbors, we should take one.
Yeah, I wish there's several neighbors that, we wish would take one. Actually, I would love several. There's way more than. But Andy is the main one, because I think that would open a lot of Andy and Fred are the main ones, in my opinion, because they're trying to use Fred to cover their bullshit, and that's just not fair nor right. How do you know it's been taken care of thoroughly, Cinder Element? I don't understand why you say that. People can't say. I that's so irritating when people come on here and say stuff as a matter of fact, but they show zero proof of what they're saying. You see what I'm saying? Just like you went on earlier and you said you have the results of Fred's lie detector test, but yet say you can't send it to me till Tuesday. And now you're saying, oh, this has been thoroughly taken care of. We're supposed to take your word that it's been thoroughly taken care of concerning AB, because, it seems to be in a big topic of discussion over here on the YouTube. I know YouTube is not actually the actual case, but it affects our actual life. And Andy Bernard is trying to call Fred a liar. And if Fred wants to take a lie detector to clear his name, and the best way he can with that, even though it doesn't, the best way we know how. Anybody can come on here and say this has happened, that has happened, this person passed that. Where is the proof? That's what I'm saying. These people, everybody coming on here and saying this or that has happened, but don't showing anything. And because he was in the drug scene too, so that obviously helps hold weight, because people are not going to believe somebody who has a background and, or using. Fred had something to do with the man Ethan. Who's Ethan?
Isn't that one of Hunter's friends or something?
See, that's what I'm saying. See, Christy, that's the reason why I want to ask that question to Fred, because so these people, and this is what they're going to do. If it comes, they're trying to pin whatever they can on Fred. Whatever will stick. That's why I said the question I'm asking, the one question I asked to be asked, and that's it, was to Fred, and also to Andy. Was he on the road that day? But I really want to ask Fred, has he ever unalived anybody? Ever. That would take care of Ethan and whoever this Ethan guy is.
Ethan.
Yeah. Just crazy.
I've heard something about an Ethan or something other, Hunter's friend or something that was supposed to went. Yes.
I remember an Ethan being named earlier in the case, but he was alive as far as I know, and they were trying to look into him as I also kind of looked into him because he had a truck that was similar to the one they were looking for. Damien, that would be a great one if Damien would take one, but
that's one I would love to have one more than anybody, really.
How does she know all this stuff and have the results of the lie detector? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't see where AB has been cleared of anything to do with being on the road. And honestly, Cinderella, I've seen you talk a lot of bad things about Fred and myself on the YouTube. So I kind of question your motive, especially since you're telling me now to wait till Tuesday. And I appreciate it if you really do have it. I'm trying to be open and stuff, but I've seen you say a lot of horrible things about me and Fred. And so when you came back and told me you'll have to wait till Tuesday, it makes me really suspicious. Then you come on here and you're saying that now Andy B has been cleared of being on the road or something like that, or that's already been dealt with. No, it hasn't. Why? Because some random on YouTube says so, and that could be choose any name and any picture for themselves, and we're supposed to believe because somebody says such a thing, a random person. I don't mean to call you random. I'm just saying, we're all random pretty much, except, I'm on camera here, but many of you guys are just a little, are just words and a picture. Some's just a letter. Any of you have to come in here and claim certain things, or call this person or that person a liar, or say this person's lying, or that person's lying, or, this person's been cleared, this has happened, this person passed the lie detector test, stuff. But we need to see it. That's what I was saying, country girl. I would love, if somebody has, I just can't imagine somebody having the lie detector results and not putting it out there. I know you can't trust anymore. You have, unfortunately. And anyways, there should be no problem with people putting out proof. If it's the truth and stuff, it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Like, you shouldn't be offended or anything, because we all know how it works out here on the YouTube streets. They have a sharp taste. Like, which one's that, Shannon? Is that PG? PG claims to have everything, right? Oh my god. That's another reason why I put out that whole conversation of PG's and Fred's, because she likes to rewrite reality about what actually was discussed. And I love the people in the comments saying, oh, PG's already put this out. No, she hasn't. She's put out her version of events of what she's, and clipped things certain ways from what I've heard. I don't watch her, but I already know she doesn't play anything from beginning to end. I know she's full of shit. You can't just go and say things like that, Cinder Element, and say things as fact if you don't show proof. You can say, you're sitting here saying that somebody's not a suspect. Why do you say that Andy Bernard's not a suspect? You know what you're saying? You keep saying that neither are a suspect. Why? And like, you're acting like you are privy to information, like, and we should just already know this. That's why it's irritating. Yes, you're being kind, but that doesn't mean I can't disagree or have questions about something that you're saying, because it doesn't make sense. It is. I mean, I'm. That's great that you don't disbelieve Fred, but you're also saying you don't believe him. Also, when you say I don't disbelieve him, but whatever, I don't. That's great, but you're also saying you've also said neither of them are suspects. Okay, but why? Why though? Why do you believe that? Just because you're agreeing with me that Fred's not involved or whatever doesn't mean that I suddenly am going to be happy with everything you're saying just because you say that, agree with me about something. I still have questions on why you believe, or you say that Andy's not a suspect and that we don't need and that it's been cleared about him being on the road. I just haven't seen that. You know what I mean? I just haven't. But give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Just a 3-minute, 2-minute intermission. All right, Cinder. Well, I just don't. If you can't, I don't understand why it would be secretive unless you're, I don't know, unless something was obtained. I don't understand, but there's got to be. I just don't see where it's ever been addressed about Andy on the road. And addressed as in what? Is he taking some kind of deal to stay out of trouble? Because right, and that's the impression she's giving us. And the thing is, it's like, that's great that you feel that way, but if that's true, that you do have some kind of insight that we don't have, you got to understand and put yourself in our position, why we would want to do something like this. Like, it's nice that you know, but we want to know also, Cinder. You know what I mean? Especially us that have to freaking deal with harassment constantly. It doesn't bother Fred, but it does bother me at times, like when I see the shit. That's fine. If he's in it Tuesday, it's fine. That's great. I'll highly appreciate it. Did you get my email written down? My email should be under every one of my videos. It's pretty easy to find. It's also on my About page on my YouTube and everywhere. So if for some reason you need it, Tuesday it will be there. And that would be amazing. Seriously. I've been, like, Don B's, like, been trying like crazy to get these results. So if it's that easy for you, the thing is, though, unfortunately, it still wouldn't be good enough, like, as far as, because they didn't ask him any questions as far as, like, the ones that all these people on YouTube are trying to accuse Fred of. So unfortunately, we still have to go forward with the lie detector no matter what. We don't have to, but we want to. Even if people that's been around for a while, even anybody that's been around for a while. I mean, like, PG's been around for a while and she lies like crazy. So, okay, thank you, Cinder. Yeah. She's trying to make it as fair as possible, too, truly. And that's how I want it to be. I want it to be fair. If you're all about the truth and have nothing to hide, why would you want it any differently? I'm not trying to freaking nail Andy B for anything. I'm trying to clear Fred's name and show that he hasn't been lying. The thing is, when Andy B is lying and saying he wasn't on the road, he's basically calling Fred a liar. You know what I mean? Even though there's video evidence of him being on the road. So it's just hasn't been put out on YouTube yet. And so that's what he's hoping, that none of these people are the few that have surveillance. He's hoping we'll never see the light of day, I guess. No, he didn't know. She didn't know Fred. He will answer people's questions. If you PG was calling him on Messenger and messaging him and stuff, and he would just be nice and respond to her messages, you know. And she would call him there for about a month or so. There was a good month where she was like contacting him constantly. It seemed like through Messenger. But that's all been within, I don't know, the last year or so. Since she started talking to Fred. And he hasn't talked to her since July, mid-July. Spin some tales, right? What duct tape? Oh, what? She say something about duct tape? PG's always said some weird, freaking horrible details. Like I don't know. She used to say things all the time, like on my channel when she was just.
I talked to PG that long ago. I mean, I just started talking to PG just a few months ago.
Okay, so not even a year.
No.
So PG.
It was a little bit before Marlena and stuff come on her panel.
Okay, so
too long before that.
So Marlena came on her panel around like April or something, or May or something. April. Fred might have been starting to talk to her like March or February of this year. Then. It's on our videos. We posted at the beginning and the end, that whole conversation. Yeah, so I could pull it up if I cared enough. I think it's February. I think it's February if I remember right now
because a lot of the texts before the calls.
Yeah, so basically.
They showed even in the text where she had called me and how long they was and stuff.
Yeah, so that's 7 months then, I guess.
That was the only time I've ever talked to her.
And then she called Laura, and then she would try to like pick at stuff that Laura says and Fred says, and of course she contacted Laura too before Fred. And tried to use their whole breakup and me and Fred getting together as a way to get Laura. Yeah, she wasn't like, I mean, people were using it to their advantage to try to get her to talk shit about me and Fred, you know, because she was upset. And yeah, PG took advantage of it. Oh, she has duct tape on her picture. Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, she contacted Laura, 2 weeks ago? Last.
Is that duct tape or is that, I think that's a mat. Oh, I guess it is duct tape.
Wasn't it? Let me see when she contacted Laura.
Oh, yeah, she tried to contact Laura very recently.
Yeah, just recent. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks ago. I think. I just have to look it up here. Because me and Laura talk more than people think.
Yeah, and people act like I should be mad, like no, I'm an adult.
Well, she messages with you too sometimes.
Yeah. Staying low. Seems Fred has nothing to. And he just defends. I mean, all he does is answer people's questions and try to help. And he's not on here making a channel and going live and stuff. Like, I have to hunt him down half the time to try to go find him and ask him questions. I'm the one that went to him, and actually at first it was hard to get a hold of him. It wasn't until like 2023 that, or the end of, 2023 that we started talking regularly, like a lot. Well, hopefully Laura has learned her lesson and won't talk to her anymore. But see, people, just like Fred, anybody who messaged Fred, even if they've talked shit and they ask him a question, he's going to answer it. You know what I mean? Stress makes your body hurt. I've heard that.
It's been a little over 2 weeks, I think it was.
Oh, dang, Shane, that's crazy.
Because she said that PG had contacted her that morning or something earlier that day. And then
about the freaking
then she was talking about somebody contacted Little Fred and Courtney, asked them some messed up questions and stuff.
Yeah, the same time that PG was trying to get a hold of Laura recently, at the same time was when Laura found out about somebody contacting their kids, Fred and Laura's kids, one of them still a minor, and asking them very freaking inappropriate questions. Like, you guys, really disgusting questions. Like, real. One of them was a minor. Why would you message a minor and ask him questions like, did your mommy and daddy, touch you when you were little? Or did your mommy and daddy, sell you for drugs? Weird fucking questions. Disgusting. Like, who would do that?
And ever who did contact them, especially Little Fred,
because
his phone's monitored where they're still under DCS care, Even though they're with family, they're still monitored until he's 18.
Well, I hope they do look at his conversations and see this type of stuff, the weird shit. I don't know if they could.
His phone shared with them.
I don't know what they could do about it. I don't know what they would be able to do about it, because I don't know if it's necessarily illegal or what, but it's gross and horrible. Don Kenneth is still together on Ben Hill. I mean, supposedly not, but it's 111 by the way, guys. But what's new? Don and Candace have gotten back, or they're always back and forth though. So I don't know if it really means anything.
I need to get hold of Destiny and have her to go ahead and forward all their messages to me.
Yeah. I know it's going to
really who else is involved.
I'm sure that they're probably contacting them under an alias or something, but I think that it would still help to be able to see the messages, to see how the person's talking and stuff, and exactly what they're saying.
Aliases, we don't know who they actually are.
Oh. I don't know why anybody would think that that's okay. It's just really gross and wrong to do. And then also this person was trying to tell them too, Fred's kids, that Fred and Laura had something to do with Summer's disappearance and like horrible things. So yeah, see why we want freaking lie detector tests? We're tired of the fucking harassment. I'm tired of people harassing us and Fred over basically just making Fred the scapegoat for their own bullshit, in my opinion. And then, you know, you got these weirdos on here who contact children and ask them horrible questions because they think they're entitled to in some ways because of what they hear on YouTube, supposedly. But I really think whoever's contacted them already knows better and knows that it's bullshit what they're asking. They're just trying to harass Fred or in Laura in some ways, or upset them in some ways and cause problems in their lives with them and their kids. Anything they can do to try to like upset us or hurt us, or you know what I mean? IP address, yeah, you would think so, but nowadays, I mean, there's VPNs. Most people use VPNs, and well, maybe most don't, but a lot of people use VPNs. And yeah, supposedly Candace posted a Cash App to start over, that she was going to Georgia, and so yeah, I guess they have split allegedly, and it supposedly it was due to Dawn talking to certain people again or something. So I don't know if it's Prayer Garden or who it is, but no, I haven't found out for sure, Val. No. Well, I think Laura now is, you know, she's married and stuff now, so I don't know if people knew that, but yeah, she's married.
Laura's not jealous of me and you no more. She's married.
Yeah, that's what I was just telling them.
Yeah, she's married, going to church and stuff, doing actually really good. She don't even know where.
I mean, but a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, or whatever, when she's first finding out about it and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm sure she was a little hurt or whatever, but nothing was ever done like.
But she was still with somebody else.
Yeah, she was with somebody else first. But it doesn't matter, you know. We're cool now, and that's all that matters. And she seems to be doing good, and she
is doing good. You can actually have a conversation with her instead of guessing what she's trying to say.
Oh, I know. Peachy's like, yes, now me and Dawn gonna be together. Wonder if it's Jenna. Doesn't she live in Georgia? Is Jenna and Candace cool now? But yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that, but I doubt that it was Jenna, because I don't even think Jenna has a. I don't know. I don't know what Jenna's up to these days, to be honest. I truly don't. Oh, no, we know you didn't mean anything bad, Shannon. You're fine. But I've tried to be, respectful of her feelings and stuff. And that's why, I don't know. knows if she's actually really in Georgia, though, because, I mean, where was it that they had listed? Don has listed that he's like in Texas or something, doesn't he? Or some other
Yeah, she had posted that she had started a new job at North Atlanta Postal Service. There ain't no way she could be working at a postal service. Candace had posted that on her
Yeah,
Facebook
I don't
wall.
see how that's possible, because I know, Shannon, I really am. It was probably...
Yeah, she married her high school sweetheart. I'm proud of her. I'm proud for her.
What about that? Where's that one lady that was letting Candace live with her the last time? Where she lived? That's not Georgia, is it? No, I don't.
No,
that's
her. Kathy?
Yeah.
No, that's
she lives in Tennessee, doesn't she?
Hamlin County, where she was from, Morristown area.
Yeah, Shannon, that's who, like, I was most worried about. I really, truly was. I didn't want Lord, to get hurt. So I told Fred. Who Laura did what? Val. Yeah, I don't think, in order to work at the post office, she would at least have to have, like, a high school diploma.
She can't have no felony charges either. She's got felony charges, ain't she been convicted?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure she has, yes.
Well.
So I doubt that, but.
Diploma and stuff, at least.
That's what she put on her, Paula, that's what she put on her Facebook, but I'm sure it's just bullshit. If I was the post office, the government, I would contact her and be like, we don't want you representing us. Take down that whole thing on your Facebook.
I about to say she's just out of money and trying to hit people up for a little money. Labor Day was coming up, so.
Yeah, but supposedly she really is separated, right?
I don't know.
Is Laura with David Bays now? No, she's with her high school, somebody she met in high school.
I mean, she don't even look nothing like she did when we went to jail and stuff. Now.
Oh, Laura.
Laura don't know. She actually gained weight back and stuff, and looking highway decent.
So one thing about that drug is it really affects all drugs do, really, if you're on it long term, but meth is really hard on your people's appearance and stuff. Like for some, they get sores. We can't even have a felony to clean toilets in the post office. That's what. White boy said they are still together. Oh, okay. Well, the post office is a government job, so they would definitely be drug screening, and I would think be more tough about felonies and stuff like that. I've heard a lot of people have, a lot of the working for the post office is a good job. A lot of people want to work at the post office. So GC Killer's video today. Which one? The Fred Hill thing? Or the one that said something about the whites or whatever?
Yeah.
What people don't understand is like, that is a different set of whites. That's not Laura's family. But that's fun. But it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. But the whites they're talking about from West Virginia.
Yeah, that's
a different set of whites. That's not Laura's family. So basically, it was another play, as in another game by the Wells, or is that what White Boy's saying? Them playing games when their daughter's missing? Wonder if she was. I think that's who they was talking about, the wonderful whites of West Virginia or whatever.
Yeah, I'm thinking so because
that's what
I remember early on, before like I really knew you guys and stuff, and I was doing your family tree, and a lot of people were trying to say that tie Laura to that group of people. And we talked about that a long time ago. And
see, there's whites that live actually right there on Beach Creek.
Oh, really?
Light Hollow Road, yeah. But they're a different set of whites too. James White, he lives right beside of Roy Light, Frank's brother Roy.
Wait, who? Frank's? Where are you getting that at?
Oh, I was just talking to you.
What made you think of the book?
I was just saying there's some whites from the.
I thought you said Roy Light.
I did say Roy Light.
Yeah.
Roy Light, Frank Light's brother. That's where James White, not Light. White.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you were saying James Light.
He lives before you get to. He lives in a 2-story house on Light Hollow Road.
Oh, that's what you're saying, misled. I know. I was going to say, White Boy admitted that they were playing games. Have to get Caitlin some of the extra cheesy Cheez-It crackers. I think I've had those, and I think they are, if I remember right, I think they are really good if I remember right.
You don't like sharp cheddar. What are you talking about?
When I was reselling, I would say that I worked at the post office. I don't like sharp cheddar, you're right, but those Cheez-Its are really good. For instance, I don't like ranch, but my favorite Doritos are Cool Ranch. Like, I don't like the ranch dressing. Ugh. She's probably working the fair or carnival. Yeah, it's more up her alley. Get the family size is 200% more. Okay, I will too. I'll get the family size. So I think tomorrow, hopefully, that we will have this. I'm sorry that the show got postponed with Cher, but this is a weekly thing we're going to be doing. So I imagine it could happen a lot that it might get delayed or rescheduled, but hopefully tomorrow will be okay. I know that Cher works all day tomorrow, and we have it scheduled for tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And that's what we're supposed to do. So I hope it will work out. But if it doesn't, I wanted to go live right now just because I felt bad for missing that. Let's secret watch Candace. What do you mean? No, I don't like mayonnaise, but I wouldn't like anything flavored mayonnaise either. Ew. Mayonnaise flavor. Gross. What did you all think about Chasing's narration of the Wells narrative in regards to... Oh, I don't watch that woman. So when did she do this? I'm gonna try to be nice. I can just imagine. How is it those people will defend Dawn and Candace like crazy, but yet like attack Fred like he's like the worst person ever? You know what I mean? Like, how fake and hypocritical do you have to be? Yeah, I'm surprised some of you actually really liked that. I thought it was a cute little video that Fred recorded for us. Yeah, I don't like mayonnaise. For sure. Nor sour cream, really. No, sometimes if sour cream's like mixed in a casserole, like very little, then it's okay. I don't know what they're talking about Chasing's narration of the Wells narrative in regards to boys and CPS. Was she trying to give, like... I was all Tim Mullins. Well, I mean, I'm guessing that she was probably defending them because she's all, like, on their friends list. Ever since they went to Tennessee, her and a couple others, like, ever since they went to Tennessee, they suddenly, like, if you guys don't remember, back in about November of 2022, when they went to Tennessee, around then they kind of just disappeared all of a sudden for several months and then came back and was like, oh, we're not doing Summer Wells anymore. I feel bad that we were making money on Summer Wells. We now support the Wells. So I guess they're big Wells supporters now. So my guess is she was somehow supporting the Wells in their crazy CPS claims. She was reading from the Wells website. I mean, seriously. But hey, let them continue doing that. It makes them look even more stupid when they sit there and talk shit about Fred, but have, but defend Dawn Wells. Keep that shit up. It looks real good on you. It looks real good on you there, Chasing. It makes you look very stable. From the Wells. Well, I do know, though, that she's my guess, because if you go look, she's one of his, ever since they went to Tennessee, she started being buddies with them. Yeah, they went body hunting, and then I wasn't supposed to think that was them up on Fred's property in November of 2022, sneaking around. Oh, no, I had no reason to think of that. But they came out saying that they were hunting for people, and hiding in bushes and people hunting. And we're also planning on setting Fred up and purchasing cocaine off him. Like, cocaine? Really? Who told you to purchase cocaine? Your buddy Dawn Wells? Because that's not Fred didn't sell cocaine, nor wasn't even his type of drug. That's Don Wells' drug. And I guess your drug, because why would you want to buy cocaine of all drugs? I think that's kind of telling.
Now, I hadn't seen no cocaine in years before that. I was trying to think of when the last time.
Well, probably Don when he was probably smoking it. Was he smoking it in front of you?
Yeah, he would smoke some around.
Like after those few times that he came by?
Yeah. Before someone went missing and after someone went missing. As far as me, having any on my person, it's been probably 2002 or something.
Supposedly Don was per usual the whole claim, how CPS stole the boys and Josie needs to be back with his loving parents for Tim Mullins. Yeah, what was I hearing about? God, I keep having this freaking... What was this going on about Don's sister having Josie? This rumor that Josie's staying with Don's sister, and what about this comment about that? I think it was came from Crime Lines and Lies when she was on PG, saying that Sonia, Don's sister, was like left some kind of comment on Facebook going off on Don, telling him he tore the family apart and blah blah blah, and calling Summer trailer trash. Allegedly, that's what she was saying.
That's disturbing.
So, but then I never seen any proof of this. She was reading, but it definitely came across as she was reading facts. When I read her explanation of the video, it was regarding issues with CPS and needing changes. You know, I would be suspicious, very, very suspicious of their trip if I were you guys. Very, 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 very suspicious, because how do you go from now, not so much chasing, but the other ones, especially that are connected to her, like Jenny and Adrian. How do you go from completely against the Wells and then you go on this trip and now you've changed and turned, you know? I think something happened on that trip that the Wells know about, that they don't want the Wells telling. So now that they're in this little pact with they're dancing with the devil basically, because they don't want the Wells to tell on them. It's just my opinion. I think Fred would like picked okra.
Pickled okra.
Do you like it?
Mm-hmm. I like pickled okra, pickled beets, pickled eggs, pickled. Even pickled pig's feet.
Yeah.
I like country food. I like any country food. I ain't gonna cull none of it.
I like okra, like fried okra. And I've had regular okra too. It's good. It's all right. Yeah, flip-flopped out of nowhere. So I would be just really suspicious of that trip that they took in November-ish, around November or so, 2022. And what changed them, what happened. Because remember, they came back and they wouldn't show any type of footage, anything. Like, suddenly they were just going to be all against talking about Summer Wells. And all about, I felt bad for Dawn and Candace. And yeah, something's weird. Well, these other people, Chasing was one of them, and Jenny were defending Tim Mullins. one of the last times that they were going live about me, that I happened to go, the time that I went on panel and kind of went off because I happened to go just listen for, just a rare time that I happened to stop in and thought I'd give it a chance. And then the second I went in there, Jenny was going like, oh, I think it's so funny how she wants to call Tim Mullins a liar and this and that, and accuse Tim Mullins of being a liar and Don and Candace of being liars. But yeah, like she was completely defending Tim Mullins in the Wells. I was like, you've got to be kidding right now. Am I in the Twilight Zone? So I immediately left. After I went on panel, I've been like, are you guys fucking for real right now? You sound stupid. Sorry. You sound dumb. We do have a little bit of garden out here, actually. We have peppers.
Peppers, potatoes, tomatoes.
Tomatoes you're trying. Garlic.
Garlic. Or onions, I think.
We haven't really had, we've had some small peppers, but the peppers are still like growing.
I think that counted 13 on earlier.
What, 13 peppers?
Yeah, out front. I ain't checked the ones in the back.
Yeah, but they're like this tiny.
I know that there was some coming on. They ain't that tiny.
Some of them, except
they're hot peppers.
The hot peppers are like that tiny, but the green peppers are about that big. They're really cute.
The bell peppers just now starting to come on. They just started. They ain't ripe yet.
You have to clear the land and kill the grass. Pal, she's a know-it-all type. You can't have a conversation with her. She's not one that will, they're just not thinking in the way they're thinking is just not in reality. How can you take somebody serious who is defending the Wells, but yet has such a, wanting to focus on Fred, and defending Andy Bernard too. We're going to defend Andy Bernard and Don Wells and Candace, but yet we're going to attack like hell Fred Hill. We're gonna stick up for the guy for Don Wells, the guy that talks about children's bodies having a hot body from hell. That sounds like the guy. Let's stick up for him. The one that talks about seeing people, like kids being sold in hotel rooms for drugs and all that, witnessing all this stuff, all kinds of, it's normal, right? These people, it's comical. And I think it's hilarious how they're gaslighting, people to make them think something bad's happening by doing a lie detector test, turning something that's going to be good to get truth. They want to turn something good into negative. Nuh-uh. Are you serious, Miss Led? She's buddies with Tim Mullins? Well, I do know Chasing used to have a lot more credibility than she has. It's funny. I've never seen somebody funny or sad. I don't know. I've never seen somebody plummet so hardcore, face dive, nose dive. And I mean, the only way somebody would do something like that is if they got something to hide. Like, why would you risk all your credibility and I just don't get that. Unless there's something greater that you're hiding that you don't want out there. Oh, her issues with Candace? See, that's what I'm telling you, Paul. That's what I'm saying. I wish people would start realizing or understanding that there's some kind of agenda behind these people. You know, it's really horrible.
That and it fell off back there.
What?
Pepper.
Oh, we got a pepper, guys.
It fell off.
Here's a pepper from our garden.
I was looking at the planks and it fell off. I hadn't checked them back there in a few days.
Oh, he has Tim's number. I was gonna say that's surprising that I didn't think Angel's talk, but I haven't been watching. I don't watch anybody anymore because you can't. It's all bullshit, really. So I don't watch any of it anymore, except there's very few I watch.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't had one. You didn't even send me a bite.
I know.
Okay, so that makes more sense, Miss Led. That makes sense. I was gonna say I wouldn't think like she would feel like that unless she got kind of tied into chasing and all them. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
You ain't got to eat a pepper one, have you? I've eaten like 20.
No, you keep eating them before they grow completely.
No.
Was it a spicy one?
Mm-hmm. Pretty hot. Pretty warm. Of course, I like them hot.
It's really odd how Tim inserted himself in this case. Well, then to find out that they knew each other beforehand, and then posting pictures of reminiscing about the old days, pictures of by a helicopter, or not helicopter, but what kind of plane are those called? One of those small planes. And it looked like it was from like the 80s or something. And Dawn was like, oh, those were the days, Tim. Those were the days, the good old days back in California. Like they're playing games right in front of her face and think it's funny that nothing's happening and they're getting away with it. Candace is live?
I don't know. Somebody sent something. I'm not going to check. Thought they said she was, or she'd been live earlier or something. I don't think I found it. I don't know if she's live now.
Yeah, she is live.
That's what I thought. Somebody just sent it, said she was.
Oh, it's 2 a.m., guys. Let's see what she has to say tonight.
Okay, I will. I love y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all have a blessed night. I just don't understand people. Well, Lord, I'm not having fun, but I'm living by the faith of God, and I'm praying that God will bring answers soon. Um, ew.
She drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Drunk. Sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you catch her this late at night, she's gonna be wasted because
She said,
she's usually passed out by now. Trying to see.
Ew.
Is she gonna big time drunk? Well, honey, smush down another pint. I was trying to see what's got her going. Was she? Is she gonna talk? I don't see. That's why I never watch her because she doesn't talk. She just like sits there. Like her legs did. She stated that she is somewhere safe and is still with Dawn.
It doesn't matter what's on my mind tonight. Oh, shit. Jinkies, huh. Why are you so mean, Jinkies? I thought you cared. Jinky, you don't care about me.
Yeah, sure. I'll give Candace this link.
Huh. I'm saying it all over YouTube, Jinkies. And I'm not being rude about it.
If I can freaking. Oh, so she's upset with Jinkies?
No, it's not raining here.
See, I even have this sped up, don't I not? Yeah, at 1.25.
No, you don't know, Jinkies, because I don't talk to you a whole lot. But when I do, I feel like Two-Faced.
So that's what's going on. What was Jinky saying that's got her
I
upset?
don't know, people in your chat, Jinkies, think I'm a piece of shit.
let me go in and ask her a question.
Oh, probably not.
I'm okay, everybody. I'm okay. Ugh. Oh, this is how I feel, Jinkies. Look,
I don't even see. She must have blocked her because I don't even see
Jinkies,
Jinky.
you're friends with Nana for life and all them, and I feel like that You're more friends with them than you are me.
What did she just say? Nana for Life is one of them that she's talking about. So Nana for Life is the one she's upset with? Is that the one that... What?
Nana for Life, one that went down on, what was it, last week?
Yeah, Nana for Life was the one that went with Fred's sister, I guess, and Six Up to Ben Hill Road. Allegedly is what we've heard. I don't know. So, like, that's what we heard is Nana for Life was all buddied up with Karen, Fred's sister, and Six Up, and went to Ben Hill allegedly. But what's interesting for that is Nana for Life was the same person that was with the group in November of 2022 that snuck up on the hill, that I believe snuck up over on Fred Hill's property, allegedly. In my opinion, she was part of that group too. She's the common denominator between like Chasing and them and Jenny, and also now with Six Up and Fred's sister. So it makes me wonder. And then we've heard now that Fred's sister was sleeping with Dawn Wells, allegedly. And so is there some kind of... Is Dawn hanging out with Fred's sister again and this Nana or for Life? Is that what's happening? Is that what the problem is? Oh, wait. So you guys were saying, okay, so now this makes sense, because didn't you guys say also that Chasing and them is going against Candace, but defending Dawn Wells or something? Is that true? So maybe that's also another reason why she's upset.
I was friends with them at one time, and I'm not going to deny that. But they used and they abused me. So therefore, I left out. So if I left out because I feel like they were using and abusing me, and I left that, I feel like you're still friends with them and you care less about what I say.
So that makes it, that is very, very interesting to me, because that tells me a lot that she's got her and this Nana for Life, which I've never talked to or anything that I remember. I don't think I've ever talked to her or know who she is. I do know, though, that she was part of the whole group who was going and hiding in bushes, which Chasing and them, and for that whole trip. And now supposedly a part of this trip that happened recently on Ben Hill Road that involves Six Up in them. So, and now it seems like Candace is kind of upset about something that has to do with Nana for Life. So with Dawn Wells, I'm guessing that Dawn Wells hung out with... Oh my God, this is hilarious. Nana for Life is the Ben Hill tour guide. Any career that comes to Ben Hill, she has to bring around is really, really weird. Yeah, she's talked a lot of horrible things about Fred and I, so that's another one that's sus, because it doesn't make sense. Like she would tie herself to certain ones, like Dawn and Candace, but yet, once again, attack Fred like endlessly. And then also, and it started, she didn't used to be like that. It all started the same time that Jenny and Adrian and them had that. started doing their shit. Started the same time, and it was around the time that they took that whole break from YouTube and disappeared. I went to YouTube or went to Ben Hill, and then they disappeared completely from YouTube for a while. And it was like, okay, what happened? It was like crickets. And then all of a sudden they're coming out saying, oh, well, we decided we're not going to talk. We're not showing any type of footage. We're done talking somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. You guys remember that? Didn't show us anything. But then I find out from Fred about an incident that happened on his property. And then they also talk about an incident where they were chased out of Ben Hill and all this craziness went on. It was all secretive and hush-hush. And they're talking about hiding in bushes and hunting people. And then I hear from Fred about an incident, like it was about like a year after it happened. And he told me about an incident. And at the time, I didn't put two and two together. But there was a group of people who had snuck up on Fred's property in around November of 2022. And it was when Bill Benton had showed up at the exact same time it happened, which is another odd thing because Bill Benton and Fred are not friends. He hadn't showed up there forever, but Bill Benton is friends with Don Wells. And some reason, Bill Benton shows up seemingly trying to distract Fred while these people are up on the ridgeline, like walking around out there, and Fred notices them and points it out to Bill, and Fred starts going up towards them and seeing to it's dark out. One gets close, and Fred, you can't hardly see anything. Fred hits the person with a pole. They fall, and a gun goes off, and everybody runs and takes off, including Bill Benton, and he freaking wrecks his truck, his work truck that he was driving that day, at the bottom of Fred's property, or whatever vehicle he was driving. He wrecked it, like he was trying to get out of there. He acted scared, and I don't know. Like, we feel like Bill was setting Fred up to try to let those people around on Fred's property. The thing is, they had a gun, and, okay, first of all, trespassing, which is illegal. They had a gun on them that went off, could have easily shot somebody and killed somebody. It was very fucking stupid, whoever did that shit. And it was right around the same time, and then suddenly, and then I hear from a few people, that Jenny was planning to set up Fred and try to buy drugs off of him, cocaine specifically. Cocaine is what she said. Was going to set him up, and that they were talking about hunting people, and this trip was all hush-hush, and they had to leave Ziggy and certain ones out of it. You know what I mean? They had to keep it. They didn't want me involved at all, and I already knew the trip was sus and knew something was weird about it. And then it wasn't until about a year ago that I started putting two and two together about that trip and that incident that happened on Fred's and how they line up and it seems like the same trip. And it makes sense because it was the same time that they decided that they were going to be supportive of Don Candace and stop talking about Summer Wells. And suddenly they're this big vigilantes for Don and Candace. When before, they were gung-ho for them, especially Jenny and Adrian. But suddenly, after their trip, we didn't get nothing. We didn't get footage, nothing, no stories, nothing, just big secretive stuff and jokes and little, acting like they have all this stuff, but not showing it, telling us that they're never going to show it. Yeah, something's very suspicious. And then that incident happened on Fred's. I am very, very suspicious. And then they claimed they were chased out of there. And also, there was a rumor around the creek that Fred heard that there was a party up on the Wells where the cops were called. And it was rumored that YouTubers were out there hanging out with the Wells. And I'm wondering if it's the same incident of them coming there in November of 2022, going to the Wells. I don't know what type of substances or anything that they would have consumed or been a part of, and they all come up with this great idea. Let's go over to Fred Hill's property and sneak on it, and we'll have Bill Benton go down there and distract them. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Oh. Chicken Head Mafia. We talked about that last time on shares a little bit. Well, nobody should have been going over on Fred's property walking around, especially in 2023 when he first went to jail, because he was a resident of the property. So nobody else could give people permission besides their actual residents. So that includes Fred's sister was not the resident of there's a process with the courts. You have to evict the people from the property first before you can just go in and allow anybody and everybody out there. And that's not what happened. Fred's sister illegally gave people permission when she had no legal permission to do that. Fred was a resident and sold all his shit and had people out there. Yeah, people were not allowed to be out there. If there was people out there that have video footage of being out there and stuff like that, and were on the property, that was completely illegal. You weren't allowed to be out there, especially if it was around 2023, that summer. Shits and giggles, what are you talking about? Fred was the president of that property. Yes, he was. And yes, he is the owner of that property right now. Him and his sisters are the owners of that property. God, think that you're going to tell me, his wife, somebody... think you know something better, more than his actual wife. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Shits and giggles. I don't know. I don't know, your problem, but...
Okay, Jinkies. I'm not even gonna go over that. No. Y'all are not even gonna talk to Davey like that. No. Yeah, I'm okay.
You said Chicken Head Mafia? You mean Cornbread Mafia? Is Chicken Head Mafia really a thing? I personally might have called it the Chicken Head Mafia because I've messed it up. I don't know. Is there really a Chicken Head Mafia or whatever? It's called Cornbread Mafia. I might have accidentally called it Chicken Head. I don't know. I don't think Fred knows anything about a Chicken Head Mafia. I thought you meant Cornbread Mafia. So now I see what you're talking about, Teresa. No, I don't know anything about... I'm a big 3-6 Mafia fan, and they have a song called Chicken Head. And for some reason, I've always got it confused. I've called it Chicken Head Mafia instead of Cornbread Mafia. But I hear that there really is. I think somebody said there is really a Chicken Head Mafia, but yeah, no, we don't know anything about Chicken Head Mafias up in here. Making and selling meth. Are they? Oh, well, that might make sense because the meth, I did learn from Fred that meth, a name for it, can be called chicken shit. Right? Is that right, Fred? Or chicken feed, or chicken shit, or chicken something. So that makes sense. Because he was telling me that when Jody Sue was referring in one of her videos recently, talking about chicken shit or chicken something. And Fred was like, she's really referring to meth right there. Because that's a code word for meth, and I didn't know that. Chicken something was. I don't know where Fred is right now, but hopefully he's listening and will chime in and tell us.
There's certain ones called it chicken.
Who gave you permission though, Chillbilly, to go on Fred's property?
Like the one that was in her driveway that day.
And was it? And when are you talking about? Was that that was you that went with that psychic and went through Fred's property? That was highly, highly illegal if that was you. I'm just telling you. I wouldn't be telling people that. Especially if that was you, that was during that time with Tara the psychic. That search in particular was especially illegal. Because Fred was still considered a resident of that property. He hadn't even. You have to evict somebody. You can't just go up in their property and on their property and start pilfering through their stuff. Just like now, for instance, let's say I go to jail. I'm not the owner of this property. Let's say the landlord can't just come in here. Why, if I get sent to jail and just start going around and saying, "Oh yeah," telling his friends, "Oh yeah, you can go in there and go search the property. Go ahead. I own the property, so I have permission." No, that's not how it is. You have to go through the courts. You have to evict the resident first. You can't just you can't do that. Unfortunately, somebody lied to those people. I'm guessing Fred's sister, and made them think that she had some type of say. You need to know the laws when it comes to landlord and tenant rights. You can't just go on his property, though, Chillbilly. Not that we would have a problem with it, but this whole secretive stuff and going on people's properties, that's liable to get you killed down in Tennessee. Just going on people's properties, because you think they're in jail. So you're basically telling us that you were the one of them that was with them in November of 2022 then? November. I didn't think you were.
Even in Tennessee, even if you're hunting with a dog, you're not allowed to cross property lines. You have to contact the TWRA to even go and apprehend your dog, even if a tree or whatever, in the state of Tennessee.
Oh.
He tried to say they was hunting. He didn't get the law illegal.
You can go onto his property just because you're hunting? Is that really
And my property was posted.
He said actually you can if the dog was tracked there. We can retrieve it. No, you cannot. You would have to contact law enforcement. You can't just go up on somebody's property and track anything, Chillbilly. That is crazy. Hunting for what? You can't just go up on somebody's property and do that. You weren't out there hunting. How come you can't just go hunting? Who gave you permission to be on their property? So whose property did you have permission? That means you were out on somebody's property who gave you permission, and supposedly you're just trying to say your dog just accidentally tracked over onto Fred's property. That's complete bullshit, and you know it.
I mean, if that's the case, you
were just hunting, and your dog just happened to go out on his property. Yeah, don't believe, and you just happened to go into the camper too? Were you in the camper? And none of those people have contacted and apologized since. And if it comes out who was a part of that, yeah, they could be in some really serious trouble. It's stupid. They should have, contacted and asked for permission. Fred would have been probably fine giving you permission. But the whole fact that these people went in there and then tried to say they found bones and hair and this and that, it was a completely illegal search.
Screenshot. Thank you. I got it.
You did what you're saying?
Yeah, I got both of them. That means he didn't just trespass on, because he said he went from the heels all the way up to those. That means he trespassed on my dad's place. He trespassed on John Smith's place. He trespassed on Sam Stedman's place. He trespassed on Ed Redmond's place and my mom's.
I know. So there's no way you could have got permission from one person and then it accidentally your dog go into somebody else's property, because you would have had whose property did you have permission? There's no way. Like, there's nobody around there that would give you. Redmond would never give somebody permission to do that.
Stedman wouldn't. John Smith wouldn't.
John Smith died, and maybe freaking Richard Gurley would.
Well, that's on the other side.
Yeah, that's the other side.
And Richard don't allow no hunting or nothing.
Thompson's definitely are not going to let you.
He damn sure don't let
And neither is the more than likely the Bernards, unless you can retrieve animals. But that's kind of weird too, Billy. Don't you think that you claim that you're out there hunting? You can retrieve animals. We've been hunting those mountains. I mean, if you were just out there hunting, but you can't just like. You had to have gone through many people.
Regulations of hunting.
So how many property lines did you have to cross to get to the animal? You know what I mean? That's crazy. That can't be legal. That seems completely unsafe.
In Tennessee,
you could get killed doing that.
Yep.
You would have to call. I mean, I would think you would have to call in advance. You can't just like go cross a bunch of people's property. And you just so happen to be hunting. You've been hunting. Who allowed you to hunt the mountains? You have to get access somewhere. You have to get access from somebody's property. So who's allowing you to go hunt is the thing. And then because you're going to have to be crossing lots of other people's properties. The only person out there that would have that kind of land that doesn't even make sense. You would have to. It doesn't make sense. Anybody who knows those
plot owner, not
yeah.
Somebody say, "Hey, you can pull up here and park at my place and just turn your dogs loose and meet this acre of property," knowing that they're going to go wherever.
Fred's a professional. I mean, Fred's hunted dogs and that his whole life. Yeah, that stuff is completely. I mean, yeah, of course you can get your dog and stuff like that, but
because I was in with the hunting association. I guided for the world hunts and shit. I know how the laws work.
So Tennessee, I mean, I understand you have to do your ramble, but what would you be doing out there? I mean, as long as you weren't the one inside the freaking property and stuff, I just think it's pretty, or part of the group that was up there, like causing issue or sneaking around there in November, then I don't really fucking care. But I mean, I don't understand why you would suddenly be like just so happen to be hunting out there. It's just it seems like a play on words, to be honest, Chillbilly. I'm not gonna lie. You just so happen to be hunting there. Oh, we've hunted those mountains forever. Well, you have to have an access point to get into the mountains.
Hunt.
You could release one in 1 hour, and they could one area. Okay. But where are you releasing it at? So you're going to say you're going to release it on the road since your dog Brett releases it. Say you release your dog on the road and then it crosses all these property. You just send your dog out there and you can cross all those properties to go get your dog.
You know that you can't go hunting on the size of the property has to be a certain size before you can even consider hunting on it.
It has to be a certain size of property?
Yes, it even has to be a certain size of property.
Where he's saying, because if you go track it, if your dog just happens to go out on that property, you have to go get it.
Yeah.
If it's a hunting dog, they're going to come back to you. A good dog, they're going to come back to you anyways. You shouldn't have to cross people's property, right? I mean, of course, you're going to have to go get the animal. I get that, but I don't know much about hunting. But I would think that.
Well, if they're hunting, they're tracking something. Whether it's deer, whether it's coons or whatever, they're going to end up somewhere, bayed or tree. They're still going to have to apprehend them. It is not like a little house dog you take out here and just let run through the woods and they come back in a minute. It don't work like it. People are so ignorant.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like very. But if all I really am upset about, I'm not going to even care about people. There's been several people trespassing on property, but the main ones I'm worried about is November of 2022 time and the incident that Tara, the psychic, was involved in. Otherwise, I guess I really don't freaking care, even though it's not right in my opinion. But if Fred would have gave anybody permission, nobody had to sneak like that, anyways. But anyways, even whether if he was in jail or not, there's nothing to hide. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. He said that they had to pack and track and bear for 10 miles once. They're persistent.
He needs to look up the regulations and stuff. Nobody can. One landowner can give you permission, but that don't give you the right to go on the next landowner. You got to contact each landowner, and if a landowner says no, you got to contact the TWRA. He's not getting me riled up. I know my laws.
No.
Because trust me, I had to know because I guided a lot of competition hunts all over Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, even the world hunts. And I had to know my regulations of it.
Most people, I mean, if you say your dog's out there, I would think, yeah, they would. I mean, I would think would allow you, but you have to ask permission.
It's a little different than Tennessee, but Tennessee, you got to contact. If the landowner don't allow you, you just can't just go on to the landowner. You go to the landowner and ask, but that gives you permission on their property. But if they cross onto another piece of property, you still got to contact the next person. And if they say no, then you've got to take and contact the TWRA to go get them.
Mm-hmm.
Because one person, say if Andy had give him permission to turn his dog loose there, if he went over on anybody else's property, he had to contact them to see if he could travel onto their property.
Mm-hmm.
By the regulations, you're supposed to carry a GPS, and it shows all the property lines, and you're not allowed to cross them unless you contact, or it's a violation.
Mm-hmm.
He can say all he wants to in chat, but I know my laws on it.
and to make it also seem like he was out there hunting, and that's why he would be on your property. It's just silly.
Yeah,
I mean, if
he's
you
out there so-called hunting, so he could just be out there prowling around on everybody's properties, is what he's boiled down to saying. Instead of just coming out and saying, "Hey, I just out there walking through."
which we
Straight up,
would
you know, I mean,
respect
all
much more.
bullshit aside, that's what it is.
Okay, so let's see here. Let's just see what Candace has to say. Is she still alive, or no? I don't think so.
Also, I'm childish now because I feel like okay, whatever. Whatever. So now I'm childish because I don't want two-faced people in my life.
I get that,
LA,
Billy, but it just
LI,
unfortunately there's
Miami,
walls. You
whatever.
know what I mean? I get that you're saying. I
think it's a
understand.
joke. I think they're all a joke.
Wait, what did she just say? What's she talking about? Being a joke?
Yeah, I mean, if
Hold on, she says somebody.
Yeah, I did love her at one time. I really fucking did.
Wait.
But when she called me a liar, and I never spoke to her about this shit, that's when the shit went down.
But what he's saying, committing crime, just as much crimes as anybody else is. Chillbilly. Oh, no, nobody's going to go if you're at the back of the property. You ain't going to go and ask this and then that. And, well, you're committing a crime if you're not.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. It's like
So
I understand it's a hassle and stuff,
yeah,
but
it's a hassle. But if you don't do by the, he's committing just as many crimes as anybody else. You know. A crime's a crime, no matter whether it's little or big. That's trespassing. Just because you don't want to walk back out and contact somebody legally, so you're going to commit a crime and go ahead and do what you want to do instead of what the law says.
yeah, I'm just wondering what kind of stuff. That's what I'm wondering, because I just find it interesting that that's what he's saying, because I'm wondering what kind of stuff your sister told these people to make them think it was okay. Like,
well, I mean, even if ever who give him permission, he still committed crimes of traveling across other people's property without permission.
Right, I agree, but I'm just saying,
every
like,
property line he crossed was a crime. That's a trespass. Should be a trespassing charge. And I know 90% of them in that holler does not allow no hunting. Period. No hunting. Period.
he reminds you of your dad. Aw.
I mean, the law is law. I mean,
I know, whether we agree with it or not. There's a lot of laws I don't agree with, but like, I'm trying to think of some specifically that I don't freaking really agree with, but like I understand that there like
even
certain things a hassle. Trust and believe that.
Locals that live right there in Beach Creek, they're not allowed to travel across other people's lines. They don't allow it. It don't work like he's trying to say. He just went in there, just walked around, and used that for a bullshit excuse just to be on people's property trespassing. That's point blank.
And you weren't with anybody from YouTube, Chillbilly? So it was completely unfilmed and just you guys out there like hunting, like for real hunting? I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, you did come in here and admit it, so I guess like maybe it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't, and maybe it was innocent, but
innocent.
I mean, I don't know how innocent it could be, really, though. It's like out there hunting
Well,
like
it's a
that.
crime. I mean, that ain't no different than anything else going on down there. I mean, you commit a crime.
I agree, because everybody else, I trust and believe. I agree with. I absolutely.
I mean, a crime's a crime. You should be charged.
Well, I didn't know, Childerly, the way you were made it sound is that you were coming in here and acting like you were with the group, like with chasing and stuff, because we were sitting here talking about that incident where a group of people had went on Fred's property in November of 2022, and then you come in and you say, well, we were out there, like, and it just like caught me off guard, because I'm talking about an incident.
Ask him what he was tracking. Was he tracking by it?
What were you tracking?
That's important. I'll try to do it.
There's a frog. There's a couple frogs. What are you froggers? What are you froggers? Oh, let's see. Yeah, Renee, YouTube is toxic.
Where is she at?
I bet he can't answer that.
Yeah, YouTube is not your friend. I will tell you that right now.
He's a little bit.
No,
What were you tracking, Chillbilly? So you did a grid search, and you weren't talking about bears or hunting, but a grid search. That's true. You did say grid search. You did say grid search.
Huh?
He did say grid search, that we were doing a grid search. Is that something that's...
You don't do grid searches with a dog. He said he was hunting. So what are you hunting? You can't just... That's still doing grid searches. You have to take and do it. Contact the law enforcement.
YouTube is not your friend. I've realized that. Maggie May, I'm glad you've never had a YouTube channel. I'm glad that you just have YouTube friends. Coupon Mama, I don't know where they're at tonight. They're hiding. No, innocent. YouTube's nobody.
A distraction. He distracted from what needs to be told.
That's... Yeah, let's just hide
Set
it.
up a grid search to look for his dogs. He's full of shit.
Yeah, I just blocked him because he did come in right when we were brought up Candace for some reason. I don't understand what's going on over here, but with Candace, is he trying to distract about something? He is Jinky's
Well, we got what we needed anyway.
girlfriend. Or I'm sorry, boyfriend. I didn't mean to say it like that, but Jinky's is his girlfriend, and so I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't have really a problem with Jinky's, except I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand certain things, but in some stuff that she said from what I've heard about Friday and stuff, but yet I just don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. How we can talk so much shit about Fred, but yet we're going to support Don Wells, and or Kat and Candace, either one of them.
Nobody's friend. Nobody's friend. I still have hope too, crazy. Yeah, crazy. There's some good people, and I'm not declining that.
What? He did say that? Chillbilly told Candace that she came with his group to go searching for Summer, but go where? Oh, so he must have come in here when he saw Candace on the screen and thought that we've been talking about him the whole time or something? Or we had just brought... So... Who came with his group to search for Summer? Talk about all I gotta say is he better hope he wasn't one of those that were up on that property. And I really doubt November 2022. I can't remember if he was around then yet. As long as he wasn't involved in the Otero fiasco or November 2022. I don't know how many times though we've told people that Fred would let them search up on his property, you know. But I think that a lot of people wanted to sneak and look through things that they weren't allowed or whatever. Yeah, see, I don't get how you could
I'm not gonna tell y'all where I'm at. It ain't nobody's business where I'm at.
Makes sense.
Why is it anybody's business where the fuck I'm at? I mean, where the F am I at?
Candace has painted toenails.
I'm just gonna tell you I'm where I feel safe at. How about that? I feel safe where I'm at. How about that? Thank you, Coupon. Thank you, Coupon Mama.
Is she saying she's with
It's
Dawn or not?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to do my best.
A lot of people was trying to get on a property interested in looking for dope and money. Is the main thing they was looking for.
Yeah. I know. That's what your sister really was looking for, and that's why she sold everything and kept it all for herself. So that's really the truth. Nobody was out there doing anything good.
Searching and stuff, you don't look in bad posts and stuff like that for a young'un. Come on, people.
Yeah, I don't think Summer's going to be in the bedpost.
Yes. I really, really am. You know, me and Donnie are still together.
Oh, there's our answer to the question right there.
But we still have issues to work out. Let's just put it that way, okay? Choose all that's important. Well, I'm not gonna lie.
You'll just not say anything at all, huh? There's a lot of area out there who knows Summer needs to be found. Yeah, you don't want to do that. I just want to. That's bad. That's also bad. Not only is it illegal, but it's also bad advice to tell people that they can go on somebody's property if their dog gets out there and to retrieve a bear or whatever. Like it's just bad to make people think that's okay. Also, because especially down there in the South in Tennessee, in the mountains and stuff, if um, you're out there on their property and stuff, they could shoot you and claim self-defense, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Look at the situation that happened at Fred's. Fred got that guy coming out there trying to start problems, mistaking Fred for James Hill, and him causing all that ruckus at midnight in the middle of the night, shooting off all those rounds. That dude got shot in the neck. Could have died, but Fred didn't get any charges. It was self-defense, considered self-defense. So they're, of course, he was shooting at him. That guy was shooting at Fred, but out there, that's all they have to claim, self-defense, and if you're on their property, that's the thing. It's kind of dangerous. We still have issues, lol. Imagine that. He has 7 alibis and you have none. You're going down. When she says who she thinks took Summer?
I mean, what husband and wife doesn't have problems, honestly? No, innocent. We are not perfect. By no means. Bring in him would be like married to the devil. What? Because it's been years now. What is your thoughts now on Summer? You really don't want to know my theory of it, honestly.
No, we do. We do want to know your theory on it, honestly. Please, do tell.
Y'all really don't.
No, we do. Why don't we want to know?
You don't want to get it. Okay, so, y'all want to hear my theory on it, huh? Alright, well, I'll tell you my theory of it.
Oh, here we go.
And I don't give a shit who hears it.
Okay.
I hope everybody in the East Coast, West Coast, and the F Coast, and Atlantic Coast, and everybody around it hear this. You know what happened? You know what I think happened? Honestly, the God's truth is I think some fucking stupid motherfucking hillbilly motherfucker, excuse my French, come up there and took my daughter away from me. That's what I believe. And that's what I feel in my heart. No, I don't believe it was CPS like Donnie believes. But that he's a man. He has his own beliefs. And I have my own beliefs. Yeah. Hey, I'm totally on delete, on I don't even want to name names because it's just bad.
Well, there somebody's property has a fence. We could see.
Yeah, I heard there's a new sheriff in town. I did hear that. Yeah, I did hear that.
I wonder if they're worried about
Yeah, but I don't believe he's going to be any better than Ronnie Larson. Sorry, my opinion.
Well, I guess she has her and Fred have same opinion on that.
Well, I'm trying to read the. No, I'm not going to.
Well, I'll tell you this for one thing. If Don Wills was hanging out with Nana for life recently, I'll tell you what what her problem is with it. Her problem is, and I'll put this right here. Candace's problem is Don Wells was sleeping with Fred Hill's sister, and Nana for Life is the one that hosted Fred's sister, went out there with Fred's sister, and also Six Up recently, allegedly, to Ben Hill Road. So I don't know if this has something to do around that, but it kind of sounds like it could connect. So I'm guessing if he was around Nana for Life, then he would have been around Fred's sister. Yeah, you heard it here, guys. Supposedly, Don Wells and Fred's sister were sleeping together. Imagine that. I don't know if it was for an exchange of anything or what.
What do you mean? I don't think that happened, Justice Jane. Yeah, I believe she was lured off too. Yeah, I sure the hell do. But I'm not gonna name the names. Are you still with Donnie? Yes, I am.
She hesitated.
Can you see FH at all before or after the same and y'all come home?
So, I recently heard of something from, overheard something where Candace was crying about Fred Hill's sister, about Dawn sleeping with Fred Hill's sister. And she was crying and confiding with somebody that Donnie was sleeping with Fred Hill's sister. So, you guys, it kind of just confirmed more things for me that Fred's sister had been hanging out on the hill, and it makes sense why she was hiding when she would go back on Ben Hill Road and didn't want to be seen back there after Summer went missing. It's all starting to come together. I would get jealousy. Jealous of what? Sleeping with Dawn? Is that for real? Wow, that is hilarious. That was a good one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry, I can't breathe. Oh my god, dude. That was hilarious. I just made that shit up. Okay. Alright. Okay, do you need to... We'll get the phone calls. I don't have anything idea what I'm talking about. No, it's the only person that would be mad at such a thing is Fred's sister. So, yeah, you are a dirty reject.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Explain yourself. I believe it was you, Hunter. Then you buried her somewhere like... Wow, are you fucking for real? Like, bitch, you just need to go somewhere. See, this is why I don't come on here. Because people think that I did something to my daughter. Do you know my daughter is my life? She is everything to me. Y'all just don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Innocent.
Well,
My daughter Summer.
you need to start talking then, Candace. If that's true, and you just have some kind of guilty knowledge, then you need to start talking. If she's really your wife, and you guys really want to go see her in the resurrection, like you say, well, don't you have to like tell the truth in order to get forgiveness?
Was my everything. She was more to me. Y'all just ain't happy until I cry. And then when I cry, y'all ain't happy anyway because, like, it's a joke to y'all.
No, it's a joke to you. Are you serious? You guys are the ones that freaking make jokes out of it, make up stories and like with Mary and saying that Donnie was arrested. Oh yeah, you guys have pulled all kinds of silly stunts and trying to play jokes when it comes to your daughter's case. Like,
I mean, I'm not talking about the people that care. I'm talking about the people that hate.
it's not hate, Candace. People like me, I don't hate you. Okay, I just know that you're full of shit.
Thank you,
Well,
Lori.
we're sitting here trying to claim your innocence. You're going around saying horrible things about other people that you're throwing under the bus when you know damn well who is involved. But yet you're going around throwing other people under the bus and saying things about them infecting their lives. And you're all upset because people are accusing you. Well, how do you think it feels by the people you're accusing when you already know who is involved, in my opinion? So how are we? I'm not going to feel sorry about people accusing you when you know darn well, more than likely, what happened to her, or at least have some kind of pretty good knowledge.
I appreciate that so much. I wish I knew. Like, they will not let me look or let me search for my own daughter. Don't you think that's pretty fucking sad?
How is I don't? They won't let you search for your own daughter, but well, they haven't let any of these other people, and they're doing it anyways. Either also, I mean.
And I want to look for my daughter anytime I can. But fucking Hawkins County won't let me. They won't let me at all.
My guess, Candace, is if they are not letting you, my guess is they probably think that are afraid that you're going to magically appear with her and then try to say, "Oh, you found her" or something. I don't know if that's really true that they're not allowing her. I mean, I don't know how much I believe that.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. They won't let me look for Summer. I begged them to let me look, and they refuse to let me look.
Right, moonshine.
In my opinion, it's not the law enforcement. that's not allowing her.
It's her private investigators.
No, it's just her saying that because she already knows exactly where she is.
They're not out there. And honestly, I don't know if I expect her to be out there looking everywhere. Like at this point, she should have been. That's something she should have been doing a long time ago. So it's kind of like this point, like an effort like that would just not mean much at this point.
Nothing. Nothing happened to them. Okay, well. I mean, where do y'all want to start? I mean, honestly.
So I heard
I
it.
mean, I'll go wherever y'all want to look. You want I'll go look? Look, I'll go look. Shit. Excuse me. I'm not sure if they are still looking or not. I'm not so sure about that. Well,
I don't know about that. That's just so weird.
Mary, I believe she's still with us.
She just said, I believe she's still with us. But Dawn has said the complete opposite pretty much, right? That she is probably fish food. Usually means a parent is a suspect. Yeah, that's true too, as well, because it would put DNA on it. And even either way, like at this point, it's not gonna. It's her. There, I wouldn't expect her to be out searching everywhere and looking everywhere, but she never was. Even early on, she never was. Never once.
But hell, if y'all want to go look somewhere, we'll all go look together. Fuck it. Jim, because that's what TBI and Hawkins County told us. We were not allowed to look. Mary, I'm not sure why she did what she did. I can't answer why my mother left. I could not answer that. I don't know. She won't tell me.
Oh, so why your mother left? Is that what she just said? So your mother's still alive. So the rumors about her being dead, yeah, this is today, Sammy. This is just like literally, it was like an hour ago. And I have it downloaded in case she deletes it.
Damn ant's crawling on me. Okay, Vanessa, let's do it. Yeah, Justice, I do think she's alive. Yeah, you fucking right, I do. In a heart fucking beat. She was... What do you mean she was smart to leave? What the fuck you mean by that? Whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'll go wherever y'all want to go.
Okay, so then you'll how about you also be a part of this lie detector thing? Okay, so if if you truly are wanting to, well, I don't know, they'll use the excuse that it will ruin the investigation. I could just see them saying, "Oh, we can't because law enforcement told us not to."
No, I don't believe they are. No, I don't believe they are. Thank you, Jay. That sounds odd that y'all can't look for summer. They be wasting their breath telling me I couldn't look for any child live near me is missing. Well, that's what they tell us. Dragon, I don't know anything about my damn sister. Look, oh my god, I was living in Arkansas when my sister went missing. I don't fucking know any of that.
Hmm. Right after this,
They was gonna tell everybody everything else but me, alright?
well, I sure as hell wouldn't
Yeah,
let
well,
Chris and Dawn decide where we're going to go search because they're not going to take us to where, take anybody to where anything is. So I don't know if he meant it like that. Like as far as he would after this is when Jelly he would go his way where Ghost's looking. Yeah, I mean I don't blame him there because Candace and Dawn are gonna like lead you to different
what
directions.
does everybody think about this new fucking BPI? Jason or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, Candace, you've got to be kidding me! Listen to her trying to talk shit about Jason Jensen. Fred, are you fucking for real? You didn't hear that? She's trying to now act like. Have you guys heard of this whole new PI, Jason Jensen? Like, trying to act like she doesn't like him and stuff when she has his fucking dog's picture on her Facebook 2 years ago. Now she's trying to pretend like she doesn't know that guy. Are you fucking for real?
Somebody said the other day that they knowed each other for quite a while.
Yeah, because I mean that picture of that dog that Candace had on her profile, January of 2024, looks. Oh, I mean, and the stuff that it had on looks exactly like Jason Jensen's dogs that he's had. Those same type dogs, the same like vest type thing. And Candace just so happens to have a picture of a dog that looks just like Jason Jensen's sitting in a seat on January of 2024. And Jason Jensen only came around here that I know about since like May. But Cher told me this a couple of days ago that he's been around for a long time and that she's known him. But yeah, here's Candace saying, "What do you think about this new PI?" Candace is totally playing us off, in my opinion. I think that she knows that guy. And I think it's weird that she wants to act like all weird about it, be like, because he's been defending them. So I think it's funny that she's trying to separate herself from him.
Yeah, innocent. Jason, you know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but I think he is a joke. I'm sorry, but I think he is a joke.
Candace, there's playing games. I mean, I'm telling you right now, they're trying to separate themselves because I literally just went live yesterday or day before yesterday tying those two together about that freaking dog on Candace's picture on her Facebook. Did I put that on here? Maybe I need to bring up that dog and you guys, did I show you guys that? Do you remember if I showed it on my channel? Do you remember if I showed them the dog?
I think so. I'm not for sure.
On Candace's profile and stuff?
I think you did somewhere.
Because it's really strange that Candace now wants to talk about Jason Jensen and stuff and act like and separate herself from him. Because I was literally just showing everybody that dog on her profile of Jason Jensen's from January of 2024. Just like Candace lied and said she didn't know Cotton. Yeah, exactly. And then she'll try to talk about Fred, about how he's so scary and stuff. And she doesn't, it's funny. It's like she doesn't know Fred like that. Have it no reason to be scared of Fred. It's all bullshit that she's trying to play games here. I think, yeah, that's very suspicious how she wants to bring up Jason Jensen's name. I kind of wonder. That really makes me wonder. Let me see. Do I have that picture in my...
I was thinking you did, but I'm not for sure.
Oh. I don't know, Dragon. I really don't know.
Let me see if I can
Yes, Merrick, he does.
find it on
Yeah, Dragon, he's out of Utah. He's not. To me, he's a. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to explain it.
He's out of Utah. You do say Utah? But yeah, you're right. He's not anybody that we should listen to in the Summer Wells case, more than likely, because. But I just think it's funny that she's trying to separate herself from him. I think that's suspicious, and I'm going to show you guys why here in a second. You can make your own opinion on what you guys want to think, but I was just talking about this yesterday or day before, and I think it's weird that she's talking about this now.
The two pictures is about, what, a year apart or something?
Yeah, he didn't come around like that I know of. Now, Cher thought she's known him being around for a long time, but like, if so, I sure nobody else knew about him, really. So maybe she knew of him because of Dawn and Candace. Let's see, replace screen sharing. Okay, so this is the dog right here that was on Candace's Facebook in January 13th of 2024. So look at this dog right here, okay? And notice the vehicle, the surroundings, the attire, okay? January 13th of 2024. And then, and that's on Candace's. And then when we go over to his, here's a screenshot here of one of his dogs, Lily, in her chain vest and everything right here. And this is just a couple months ago, but if you look at his Facebook and look back on his Facebook, he's had these type of dogs before even this one he got. So, I don't know, guys. And I went through his pictures, and that is very... I was talking to somebody, and they telling me that he's known them for a while, but I don't know. I just think it's strange and weird that she's... That's not absolute proof or anything that that's his dog, but, But, yeah, right here. This is the one that was on... This is the one that was on Candace's. Who is this dog, Candace? Whose dog is it? She can make up anybody, but see, I've been trying to look I was trying to compare this picture with pictures that Jason Jensen had on his yesterday and stuff. And so it's just really strange that she now all of a sudden mentions that. Very weird. Okay, let's see.
It's hard to explain, honestly. Ugh. I just felt bad for how much pain your family has suffered it. All of you. Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate that. Uh, I'm gonna get off here. My headphones are fixing to die. But I'll come back tomorrow and talk to y'all because this is like it's major. It's fucking major. Like how the fuck do children just come up missing? Partner, Mama, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, it's been a major thing. Like, for what do you mean? Yes, it's major. A child missing is major. No, Val, what I'm saying is, how did they know him? How would they have known him back in January of 2024? He just came around a few months ago, is what I'm saying. This Jason guy. He came out when he was trying to say, or when everybody found out about him, when he put out on his Facebook about something about the turning in a chip on the brothers, or something about tell on your brother, or you guys, you know what I'm talking about, right? So that was just a few months ago. So why is there a picture of what looks like to be Jason Jensen's dog on Candace's Facebook over a year and a half ago when he just came around a few months ago? You see what I mean? So it makes me like suspicious. I guess she's talking about, Candace is talking about Summer coming up missing, I suppose. Summer and, let's see. Is this not, can you guys not see the screen?
I will. I'll be safe. I'll be okay.
Hold on.
Last night. I just don't understand people. Well, Lord, I'm not having fun, but I'm living by the faith of God, and I'm praying that God will bring answers soon.
Oh, me too.
Sitting outside, I'm kind of upset tonight, but it's okay. I'll be alright. God loves me, God loves y'all. Yeah, God knows what we need. Yep, you're right. Yeah, I've been crying for the past few nights. I just can't. I've been crying again tonight, and I can't show y'all my faces because it'd be bad. It'd be real bad.
Oh, would it? Why would it be real bad?
But I hope y'all have a blessed and good evening. I love y'all. Thank you everyone for coming in tonight. I really appreciate it.
She does sound much more normal when I have it sped up to 1.25, and she sounds like she doesn't sound drunk now. But before, before it was slowed down, she sounded really messed up. Or before it was sped up. 17-year-old. I don't think she was talking about that 17-year-old boy though. But I didn't know that. He's missing out of, you said out of Kingsport. I was looking at the missing children. Just like Dawn, they use God. Oh, and that's also Sharon. You know another one that does like that? PG. That's her favorite pastime, is to hide behind God. Oh, and Tim Mullins. Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest sins. Right? That's kind of like blasphemy in a way, right? Or I don't know if it's like blasphemy, but to hide behind God and pretend to be a Christian while you're doing, you have these horrible things that you're hiding behind being a Christian. That's, yeah. To hide some kind of evil. Yeah, I would think that would be like a huge, huge sin. She sounds sober in that one. Like no, when we first pulled it up, she did not sound sober. I had it sped up. That's what made her sound sober. She absolutely did not sound sober at first. But when she was sped up, she did sound more normal. All right, guys. Hold on. So,
He's everywhere, Mom. They're everywhere. He just not.
I guess so. There's a big thing of treats out there, and I guess the cat just spilled them everywhere. And
They're everywhere.
you and your friend can have a fun time cleaning it up.
Look at him coming back to eat them. He knocked him over on purpose.
Caitlin, I listen to my daughter say the cat knocked him over on purpose so you can have more treats. Oh my God. Crazy girls, teenage girls, right? Well, I can't believe I've been on here for 4 hours. I was only expecting to be on here for like an hour, but all right, guys. Everybody have a good evening, and it's supposed to be on tomorrow evening too, so